legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Welcome everyone to the Esports Club Valorant Community Cup presented by LG Ultragear, powered by Intel and Crucial with our broadcast partner Loco. I'm CC John alongside Universe, and we are bringing to you the second day of the upper bracket quarterfinals. Amazing games we had yesterday. We started off with the Community Cup and now we're continuing through with more teams in the upper brackets to determine which teams move forward and which teams will drop down into the lower bracket. Universe, how are you feeling today?
Well, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited about what's about to come because honestly, we've got two games today lined up which are of a high caliber. A lot of Valorant action. Yesterday was pretty great. We had an upset coming in the form of Only Friends defeating the side of True Rippers, which honestly I think at least 95% of people did not expect. While today we do have four teams playing again, two of which currently Revenant Esports going up against Paradise Esports, which is going to be quite an interesting matchup, I believe, because I've not heard of Paradise Esports as such, and Revenant, as we all know, have been around the cards for a long time now in the upper end, represented, gone through the highest ends of Valorant in our region, and here they are facing off against Paradise Esports, who I believe are going to have a big task ahead of them.
True, yeah. Looking at the results for Paradise Esports as well, obviously they've made it to the top 8 teams here in the Community Cup. That is a great feat in of itself. Here we have teams from the entire South Asian region from multiple countries. So being in the top 8 is an achievement. Their previous matches, they've played in other tournaments here in the Esports Club as well. They played in the Challenger Series the last time it happened, but they end up getting defeated in the qualifier, so they couldn't make through. So there definitely is potential in the team, and obviously the previous tournaments they've played, they've happened quite a while ago. It's been a couple of weeks or a couple of months as well for some of them. So now obviously they have to be improved, and overall all the teams participating have to be improved as well. Speaking of all the teams, let's have a look at the brackets and see how all of them are doing. Now, Universe, you did mention yesterday the second match that we had, Only Friends up against Two Rippers. Only Friends getting a 2-0 win, moving on forward into the upper bracket semi-finals. True Rippers going down in the lower brackets. And then we had our first match of the day as well, ROG Academy against Medal Esports. Medal, after having to forfeit map number 1 due to some issues on their end, they swooped in map number 2 and 3 and they got very comfortable victories, 13-5, 13-4. They move on forward, and today we have remaining upper bracket quarterfinals. Our first match, as we have stated, is going to be Paradise up against Revenant, and our second and our highly anticipated match is going to be Prime 5 up against Lethal Esports.
Yeah, both games high caliber, like I said earlier, and this is going to be pretty interesting. Lethal versus Prime 5 is going to be a match that I think a lot of people will be, waiting to watch, because it's quite an interesting set of players over there across both sides. While for the moment, let's go to the map veto though and have a look at what exactly Paradise and Revenant have in store for us. And we do start off with Fracture. Paradise throwing a curveball in the initial stage itself towards Revenant, and Revenant picking up Split for the last couple of days that we can see this map come up, hopefully until the grand final. It is going to be Fracture, Split, and Haven. I really, really like this map pool. While it does shout out a little bit of haphazardness on both sides, I'd say that Paradise have a good chance on Fracture because Revenant,
True.
while as good as they are, Fracture is a map that they are not keen on picking, but they're not too, far away from it in the terms of banning it either. So they have no problem with Fracture. They've played it a couple of times before. It's in that gray area of their map pool where they don't mind if it comes into it, and they don't mind even if it's banned.
Yeah, exactly. For the side of Revenant Esports, Fracture isn't like their particularly favorite map, but then again, it's not going to be that much of a problem. But I have to agree with you, Universe. Fracture is exactly where Paradise Esports have the biggest chance of getting an edge over their opposition. If they do not win that map, then it's really going to be very troublesome for them, because the second map that we have is going to be Split. And very recently, like 2-3 days ago, in the qualifiers right here of the Community Cup, we saw Revenant going up against Chillcord, and it was on the map of Split. RNT managed to secure a victory with the score of 13-5. So it was a pretty, heavy-hearted match that RNT played, and it really was favoring them. So keeping that in mind, if I'm Paradise Esports, I'll be looking to win on Fracture, so that even if we lose on the map of Split, we can go to the decided map of Haven and see what happens there. Because otherwise, if Paradise Esports do not win Fracture, chances are Split already is going to go the way of Revenant because of how they have been performing recently. It's a particular map that they have liking towards. So I'm very one-sided about this veto so far. In my opinion, Paradise have extremely good chance of winning Fracture. Revenant are looking extremely well on Split recently. All of it points towards Haven, but anything can change. As you stated, the last match that we had, yesterday, only friends against True Rippers, it went overtime and all that. So keeping all of that in mind, who knows? Maybe there's a wrench thrown, and maybe some team just can't get the win. That may be it.
Yeah, it could be it. Let's find out though, because we do have both these teams locked and loaded. We will be heading into the server in just about a couple of more minutes. But I do want to ask you, CCV. This
Yeah.
is probably the last couple of days we're going to see Split, at least until the cycle is revamped. We see some other map go out of the pool. If
Sad.
you could replace some other map that was not going out instead of Split, which one would it be?
Oh, I would definitely get rid of Fracture. I'm being honest. I don't play much Valorant. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just like every other day, I'll just play like one unrated, one competitive with my friends. I'm really not much of a player. I like to watch Valorant, and obviously I cast it as well. In both those instances, I don't like Fracture. I don't know why, man. Is so much for the brain. If obviously as a caster, if there are like amazing strategies going on, and you see the teams executing it, it's really well. But it
Yep.
takes a toll on you. And playing the map, it's very annoying. I'm sorry. I would, without a second doubt in my mind, let Pearl be there instead of Fracture and keep Split, because as a caster, I really enjoy casting Split. I know it's a very controversial opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Aggie is someone who particularly doesn't like the map of Split. I don't even think
Yep.
OG likes it. I do, casting that map, and it is kind of sad seeing it out of the mix. But hey, it is what it is.
Well, that is an opinion that I think I would kind of share with you. I'm not sure which map I would throw out. I mean, I do have a bad losing streak on the map of Fracture. Every time it comes into the lobby, I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. Time to either Alt
Yeah,
F4, not select an agent,
exactly.
or just wait for a loss to come because I don't want a cooldown of 30 minutes to come my way. But yeah, I think that Fracture is a little bit of an annoying map for me as well. While we can enjoy Split, let us do the same because I'm excited about the new map as well. Pearl looks very promising, to be honest, and looks very.
Yeah,
Um, let's just say it's a very camper favorite map because of what I've
yeah.
seen so far.
That
The
is
early
true.
gameplay and stuff like that. It looks like every nook and corner of that map has a place where you can just sit either with a shotgun or with an Ares or with a Spectre, and you can just annoy the crap out of people as much as you can. There's
Yeah.
very interesting places, especially I believe on the A side it is, where there's a cubby of sorts right next to the bomb side, which I found very interesting because it's something I think a Viper could really well exploit with her ultimate, but that's all for things to say when
It's
we do see Pearl come into the competitive scene, which teams are going to be looking to put it up on their map pool, who are going to be practicing it first. It was True Rippers who came out first in the very beginning when Fracture was released, who adapted it, and then eventually people started coming around it. Came down to VLT to get it as well eventually. Breeze was taken in by Global Esports and by Velocity at the same time when it
True.
came out first. Who is
True.
going to take up Pearl? We will find out. But if there is one team that you would say would miss Split a lot, which team do you think in our region would say that Split or no?
R&D definitely like the map of Split, but
Hmm.
there was one team. Oh, I had my statistics on me. I just can't remember. There was a team who like really went for a lot of those Split maps, and they had a particularly like amazing streak on it for a while. It also used to be Enigma. Like for a couple of months back, like there was a time where Enigma were really improving on the map of Split. Like how we've been seeing for the side of. Revenant with Fracture. Like, it's not really a map that they insta ban, but it's not one of their favorite maps as well. That is what Split used to be for Enigma, but then they started improving and they had this kind of streak where they defeated like top tier teams here at the Esports Club. In the grand finals of one of the tournaments that we had held, they ended up defeating Velocity as well, so they were looking very good. But more recently, Split has definitely had its ups and downs with the team
Yep.
performances, player performances, agent compositions. It's been quite interesting. Split definitely has gone through that double duelist, double controller kind of comp that players used to run. There was also double sentinel that was brought out many a times. You had Cypher and Killjoy. Sometimes even Sage
Yep.
could be played. So when it comes to the sentinel market, Split was one of the maps that was very versatile, and you definitely had a great time playing there because you could play almost any single sentinel out there. Even Chamber a couple of times was spotted by teams, by casual players, by players in high ranks and all that. Chamber was also played, so Split definitely favored the sentinel market a lot, and there was a lot of changes that were happening. But for now, Split will definitely be map number 2. We've talked enough about the general sense of Valorant right now. Let's get back into the game. Let's get back to Paradise Esports up against Revenant. Map 1 is going to be Fracture, and the agent selection screen is in front of us.
Well, we do have the latest addition to R&D, Paradox, and he is going to be racking up quite a number of players over here. He's got a great squad surrounding him now, and it looks like Paradox is back to his best self, being that notorious duelist that he can be. Knight Rider to take up that chamber. We've got Loki with a Sage, which is not something that you see every day on this map of Fracture. It comes about a couple of those team comps, which is usually very defensive heavy, and it looks like it as well. On the other side, we've got a raise, and it is going to be an interesting switch between the two. We do have a Sage in
Exactly.
play. We have Brimstone across both the sides. No Vipers that is going to be utilized. It looks like the Brimstone is clearly enough on this map of Fracture. But hey, there
Definitely.
is a lot of speculation here. A raise against the Neon. I think that the Neon kind of jumps the gun for me on this map particularly, or in general, because Neon has been absolutely brilliant the way she's settled into this meta that has come around, the
Yeah.
movement, the duelist movement meta, because I love it. Because you look at the duelists that have come in, right? Reina, she had an impact. She went a little low. She kind of disappeared because, again, not much movement. She has a vulnerability. Yoru, let's not even go there. The minute Neon comes in, people take at least the first 2 months to analyze her, and then she starts getting used in Split. She starts getting used in
you know,
Fracture. She's used in Breeze.
yeah.
She's practically everywhere.
One thing, I love it, Universe. You mentioned Reina, you mentioned Yoru, and then you said let's not mention him. You didn't even bother mentioning Phoenix because he's so down in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
He's
no,
like
no, no, no. We don't go
nowhere.
there, man.
Yeah.
We don't go there.
Universe is like, there's no point even like saying his name. Oh
Yeah,
man,
until
feels bad
Phoenix
for
gets like
Phoenix.
roller skates or something, I don't think he's going to be viable. But hey, let's see what the wheels of death with the hands of the race can do. Here goes Paradox. A beautiful stun
My
comes in from
God.
him to get himself a kill, but Dean immediately trading that off. Keeping it simple here, RNT going for a straight B attack. Will get the plant down as well. And that wall covers up for a lot of ground, as well as the smoke keeping them at bay. Kicking in inside heaven, still causing up the damage. Loki will take care of him from Arcade as RNT find themselves in a 3v3 and have one flash to work with. Bloody. getting a little close. Wants to figure out where exactly his opponents are, and that blind does not help anybody. Logi misses his shot. Out comes Wimp from his ID hole. Protagonist will get him down, and Bloody's just heading off the heads like it's a Sunday morning. And there it is.
Trouble for. Yeah, this is trouble for Revenant. I was thinking, like, all three members of Paradise Esports, all three of them were going for the retake from Defender spawn. There was nobody coming in from Arcade, nobody coming in from B main. I was like, okay, Revenant surely must have this under control since all of the defenders are going to be essentially bottlenecked. But excellent, and kudos to the members of Paradise. All of them managed to individualize so many of these gunfights, and in the worst case scenario they were looking for trades as well. Then the fault line came back up for breach, and you had the final member concussed. They definitely had control of the angles they were peaking and the utility usage. Revenant were just no match for them. But now Revenant, they're going for a risky strategy. They've gone for a force by Paradox this time as well, looking for the same strategy. Just brute forcing their way into the bomb site. It's not going to work. The Sage wall is there. It allows RNT members to rotate forward, but planting the spike is going to be a whole another ordeal since they don't have as much utility because they forced their way into this round.
Well, Logi, he's holding on to the back lines with his wall intact and also keeping an eye out. While RNT might have lost that round previously in the pistol, they have forced their way into the site again. Oh, Protagonist, a little too out in the open, my friend, but Logi will miss his shots, just connecting one to the body. Wimp's gonna keep them a little slowed down, and Nightheader will take care of Bloody. The chamber duel has been won, and now with the time going far too past their grasp, Paradise Esports need to just find themselves in a little bit of a safe situation, and it looks like, unfortunately, Protagonist has disconnected. Oh no. 50 win for the side of Revenant. Brings the score back immediately to 1-1.
Yeah, Revenant went for a gamble, and kudos to them, it worked. You know, even though you had Paradox completely getting shut down, like instantly without any trades whatsoever, RNT was still like, okay, we're going to push the B bomb side, we're going to try and hold it, and let's see what happens. If we have already gambled our way into this round by force buying, even though we lost the pistol, might as well give it a go. And well, you know, they end up winning so many of those gunfights. Logi got a double kill, and then you had everyone just covering their angles and waiting, and eventually Paradise members end up in their crosshairs. And from the looks of it, two members of Paradise have disconnected. KHG and KHG is back, thankfully. Protagonist though, still waiting on him. He was the disconnection in the previous round.
He's back as well.
Oh, thankfully he is. So yeah, just a minor hiccup for Paradise. I think bigger problem for them is going to be figuring out how exactly to deal with this next round, because they have lost their anti-eco because of the fact that Revenant themselves went for a force buy. So the economy of both the teams is in a very vulnerable state. One team doesn't have any credits, but for Revenant, if they lose this round, round number 3, then it's going to be their side who will be in economic trouble a lot.
Paradox, he's got support, and they look like they've already gained a lot of control of the B side because nobody is actually there. This push from Paradise towards A is not heard of yet. Now it will be. They should be expecting this. Look at the rotation though. They're playing this perfectly, to be honest. It's a ring around the entire map of Fracture, and it is a circle of sorts. And they've gone from one end to the other, finding themselves exactly what they need. Paradox has found Protagonist, and with that, he's running in towards the side that he was earlier on. Paradise have no clue that the plant is actually on A. They're fighting in towards B still.
Yeah, for Paradise, this is just a scramble right now, making sense of what the situation is. You can see the agents there moving around. They don't really have a clue about the positioning. They don't have the best of guns. The sheriffs were in hand, and the Spectres just gunned them down. And now the final member, Bloody, It's not going to be an easy get for him. He swings wide, and this time the Bulldog soars. So another round win for Revenant. This was definitely chaotic, but you can't really blame the members of Paradise a lot. They didn't have the best of guns, and the situation overall, without that much utility being there, they knew it was going to be difficult. You know, situational awareness aside, it was a very difficult round. This is where things start to heat up, because now we are 3 rounds in. Almost everyone has gotten multiple kills, so the ultimate economy is also building for these teams. Their credit economy is also there. Now we can spot like rifles. Yeah, we are seeing an operator as well on Bloody. So this is where things get really intense for all 10 members.
Yep. Paradox yet again giving a little bit of his music that he creates with his feet towards the B side. Again, he runs in, slides through, does not get detected by the KO, and with that, Paradise Esports yet again having to give up the site here. Plant going down almost effortlessly. No ultimates to work. No, there it comes, the ultimate from the Brimstone. It will allow Bloody to find the kill onto Knight Rider with anything but a classic of all things. Smokes going down. Paradise coming in for the retake. 5 versus 4.
Oh boy, Revenant Esports, they're ready for it. As the first edge will be another through the wall. Excellent stuff. And now the defenders are down to 3 numbers. They know a couple of positions of RNT members, but they have to take the gunfight. That's exactly what Dean is going to go for. But he loses the duel to Paradox. And Paradox swings and gets another with the Spectre. Only now has he been shut down. But alongside Paradox, it's the entirety of Paradise who have been shut down. Excellent execution, Universe, I must have to say, from the side of Revenant. There was no like retaliation from Paradise whatsoever. I was very confused by this, because you had like 3 members pushing from Arcade. You had Paradox alongside another pushing from B main, and like the members of Revenant, they got full side control freely without any bit of rebuttal whatsoever. Then obviously Paradise used the fault line alongside the orbital strike. Excellent move, got the kill onto Knight Rider. Very, very smart. But then the retake just failed, and now, yeah, the economy of Paradise isn't doing well as well.
Again.
So
Again.
Yeah.
I just don't get this, you know. This is the 4th time in a row. Paradox is doing the same thing over and over again. This time, while he does get shut down, it's still Revenant's game to play. 3 versus 4, Spike on the ground. And while they have the side in control, no ultimates to work with. The revival, Sage is also not there. Bloody shuts down a walking Black Hawk with a knife. And Protagonist will take out Wimp. Now it's all on the Knight Rider. He does have an angle, gets 1. And needs to expect another. Will he though? Yes, he will too. Good for 2, but nothing more than that. Weapons picked up, and finally a second round for the side of Paradise Esports. As what I expected is not coming exactly how it was supposed to, but it is coming some way. Thrifty coming in, because they're offering little to nothing. 1 smoke, that's it, to stop Paradox. Right? It's just 1 smoke that Dean throws down towards B main, and Paradox doesn't care about that, obviously. He throws in his wall, and he just goes straight flying through it. The stun that he throws on for himself to find a little bit of, you know, the stun that he needs to get his opponents completely not being able to shoot. And while I am losing my words, Revenant looking for a new approach this time.
Yeah, now Revenant, they've got 5 ultimates and they have to take things slowly. And thankfully, Revenant have realized that. They got a little too over-complacent with how they were playing the previous round. They were like, oh, we're going to peek every single angle, we're going to win every single gunfight. It doesn't work like that always, no matter who your opponents are. This time taking things slow, completely clearing out the A-bomb side. Logista wins the opening duel, and now the A-bomb side is completely empty. The spike can be safely planted, all the angles are being covered by the Brimstone smokes. And for a retake for Paradise Esports, they have to be careful. They will have to check every single corner.
Yeah, Flicker has been walled off, and he has support here. There goes the ultimate on the other side. Protagonist will win that duel. And now it's on to Paradox along with Knight Rider. They've got a triple stack over here towards the A main, and all 3 of them take the fight together. Paradox finds Protagonist, and his stunts have been shut down. 2 versus 3 now. Paradox just causing up the damage, 1 after the other, and the spams come through for Dean. The Molotov stops him from even trying to defuse, and he goes down to it, expecting that small little gap to be available to his big feet. No way was he going to survive that. It is another one for the side of Revenant.
I mean, both teams, it was a very expensive round for them, not just because of the fact that so many people died, so many rifles were lost, but there was so much ult usage that we spotted. Now, after like a total of, in the previous round, total like 6 or 7 members had their ults available. Now it's just down to 3. On all 3 of them being in Revenant. So Paradise, again, it's going to be a difficult round. We can see from their buy, only a Hero Vandals there. Otherwise, you've got Sheriffs and all that. Revenant still going for a rush play. Not sure why, because yeah, Paradox just gets concussed. That's 1 kill. Protagonist gets another. That's the 3rd overall. The spike has been dropped in everyone in their bodies. In Revenant are dropping alongside it. Not anymore. It was all down to Wimp. But in a matter of like 30-40 seconds, Paradise Esports in their pseudo thrifty round with just 1 Vandal completely shut down Revenant, who again were trying for this push, but it's not working anymore.
That was an interesting approach. They kind of went for that, brute force push, expecting their opponents to not really have much to deal with. But because Paradox got isolated in that fight there, stunned, and he had his ultimate stripped off of his hands as well, there was nothing that could happen. Now here we go.
Yeah.
We've got the ultimate on Knight Rider. The tour de force is looking for the value. If at least one of those 5 bullets connect, it's going to be more than enough for his team to work with something. But Paradise, no better than to chase him around. Flicker will get information for his team. Spots at least 2 people spraying down that boom bot. And Knight Rider's getting closer. Way too close for comfort. Dean still in heaven along with Flicker. That might not be a detail that's exposed to them, but this will be. He's allowed to just crawl past. And look at Paradox. He gets 1. Tries to go for the spray transfer a little too earlier than that should have been his case. But it's still a 3v3. It's kept modest across both sides. Logi knows where 1 is, and Flicker's gonna take out Knight Rider hiding in that little corner. Protagonist out of the smoke, no one to shoot at. And Flicker will come out with the ultimate to keep things safe. What just happened? How did Revenant lose that? It was in their control.
Everything was looking in their control, but then they just gave away like 3-4 gunfights, and Blackhawk's all by himself, just slightly pushed up towards the B-bomb side, hoping no one would expect him, but 2 people peeked him, and right now for Blackhawk as well, after getting the first kill. I mean, everyone knew about his location, so it was a great opening. As we can see in the instant replay, Knight Rider found KHG. Paradox did miss a little bit. I mean, he still got 1 kill, so it's a trade overall. But after this, so many members of R&T gave away those 3Bs, and in the individual gunfights, they just couldn't win. And for like the first time in this entire map, we are seeing the members of Revenant Esports be a little worse off economically. Usually it's been Paradise who are struggling with credits, with buying guns, with buying utility. The first time R&T are now suffering this fate, and they definitely have to think things through as to exactly how to recover from this.
Well, Revenant need to be a little careful about their approaches. While they do have the star power in the form of Paradox to go out and be a mindless beast killing everybody, a little bit of control maybe will just be benefiting them. For the moment though, they are on an eco, Revenant, so Paradise Esports have a chance to take the lead yet again. And once they take that lead, if they're able to capitalize upon it, maybe settle this half in their favor, as much as they can should work out for them, because once Revenant get on the defense, it's going to be a hell of a job for them, because dealing with a Brimstone, Breach, Sage, and a Chamber is not an easy task, man. This is a defensive build right there with the Sage especially, and on Fracture, it gets a very difficult situation if you know how to work that Sage, if you're okay with playing just 1 initiator.
True, single initiator is going to be extremely difficult to maneuver around, because you are looking for that information, and the information can be present, But then again, you also, need your initiators for that. The fault lines, the KO, all sorts of those kinds of agents. Right now, though, maybe a thrifty round for Logista. The gun doesn't matter. He managed to get one great headshot, dies off, but still, that's one rifle taken off the board. What are the remaining members of Revenant planning? Well, it's going to be an arcade push. Dean knows about this. He is concussed. He has to back off, and Paradox is up in his face looking for a kill. He does find it. Excellent stuff. Another entry into the bomb site. The spike can now easily be planted. And Paradise, they are not looking to really push for it very, very quickly. They want to take things slow and they want to wait this retake out.
Well, Protagonist does have all of his utility available to him, but will he get the kill on the Paradox? There comes the stun and there comes the double peak. Beautiful teamwork from Revenant. And Bloody, with this weapon in his hands, he cannot hope or even think about a retake. And as the time slowly ticking by, the only thing he can hope for is go back for and with a rendezvous. Unfortunately, it looks like KHG has disconnected, but Bloody will keep his hands filled with the blood of Revenant, at least for 2 members. Number 5 for Revenant it is, as they win a brilliant thrifty.
These thrifties, man, for both the rosters, the thrifties are working better than their full buys. This time, though, it was a bit unfortunate from the side of Paradox. We did just see that the person being AFK. Bloody still managed to get a very good headshot with that headhunter. But now coming back into it, yeah, it's going to be another pause. This time we're waiting for KHG to return. The good thing is, this is going to be round number 10. We are entering double digits. And now, with us going into the final stages of the first half, it also means that finally we'll be seeing the teams get ready for the second half. And the score still isn't certain. I mean, it's 4-5. For all we know, Paradise can win the next 3 rounds consecutively and go into the second half with a 2-round lead. But it is quite difficult. In all honesty, I believe it's going to be a 6-6, I mean, equal for both the teams, or perhaps the side of Revenant, if they use their ultimates better than how Paradise go for, it's going to be better for their side, and they can enter into the first half with a enter into the second half with a 7-5 score.
Wait, I do need to understand one thing though. The way that Revenant are playing currently, it's kind of going up and down. They're switching up their positions. They're going back and forth every now and then. Their speed keeps shifting up, right? They have this thing where they're going absolutely crazy maniac fast, or they just slow it down for a bit, let Paradox linger around alone, give his 2 thoughts about his where he wants to go. But overall, how do you think Paradise are holding up? Because they are getting back into the game pretty well. It is 5-4. It's not like it's a one-sided domination. Paradise are keeping them humble at the moment. So how do you think they're going to fare on attack? Because once we go on attack, that Sage is going to be a problem. What do you think Paradise should do to counter that Sage? Because that utility on defense of Fracture is very annoying to deal with.
Look for an early kill, perhaps. Right now, the way in which the side of Revenant are looking for those early kills is literally just brute forcing their way in. Or for very rare occasions, for like 1 or 2 rounds, we have seen they take things extremely slowly. They don't pick anything, just slightly get map control. Bit by bit, they push more into defender territory. Eventually, when they see the first defender, they try to get rid of him, and then they move forward. And yeah, the members of Revenant, they're really shaking things up. Either they're going to come at you 110%, and you are now going to realize what hit you, all sorts of utility. You've got the neon wall, you've got the stuns, you've got the concussions, you've got the fault line, the flashes, the brimstone smokes, etc., etc. All of that hits you within like 5 seconds, or it's going to be extremely slow. As for Paradise, what can they do? I would really say that, looking for the entry kill is going to be a great factor, and a very influential factor nonetheless. The earlier Paradise can find it, regardless of who they kill, the better it's going to be, because that opening kill means that there is now a hole in the defense, a chink in the armor for the side of Revenant, and they have to cover for it. So they have to call reinforcements from some other area. But right now, we're still in the first half. We're still in the defense of Paradise. It looks like everyone has returned. Everyone is in the server. That is really good to know. And we're starting off with round number 10. Revenant this time, as we're seeing, are taking things very slowly.
Well, they are going in for a very discerned approach towards B again. They've already taken so much control over here. And Paradise are not having a problem with giving this away, or they're just being forced to get away with this actually. Flicker keeps himself good, but Paradox goes in towards the spawn, and he's gonna spam straight into the behind of Protagonist to find that kill. Dean still around the corner, has his ultimate available as well, which he could use, but Flicker's being absolutely tormented. And Bloody's here as well. Dean's taking care of Paradox, and this could be doable because all of Revenant's players are being surrounded here. They're taking down Logi and Blackhawk though. They stabilize, and they have a revive available as well. With that wall and that smoke going down, the slow up with behind it as well keeps Dean at bay. He's gonna have to do his Dean duties a little later, but it's not gonna be allowed by Logi. Number 6 for Revenant, a very scary 6 that comes up as well, because the positions of Paradise Esports players was pretty good. Once Dean got that first kill, Flicker and Bloody did a great job to find, another. But then immediately Logi and Blackhawk hit back, coming in from heaven, that double peak. Nobody was going to survive that. And that left Dean alone to find himself just falling short to number 5.
Absolutely, both teams going back and forth within the rounds as well. You can never know who truly has the advantage until the round comes to an end. Paradise were in a 3 versus 5 situation, turned it into a 2 versus 2. Then Revenant finally managed to get a grip on things and they moved forward. Now Revenant, within again 10 seconds, have moved on forward into the side, but it has cost them one of their members. Logista is now gone. Bloody into the side. Oh, can't get that kill. That would have been really something had he managed to snag a headshot. Dean does do that quite well actually. Your entry fragger is now gone, but the entry fragging duties of Paradox are done. The spike has now been planted. It's down to the support players with their utility to keep the opponents at bay, and that's exactly what they're doing. Wimp, Knight Rider, Blackhawk, all of them with a 1 kill apiece, and that's the round done and dusted.
Revenant come up to 7, and the 3 rounds that we were telling that Paradise could potentially win to get the lead it looks like it's gone the way towards Revenant. And finally, just at the last round, kind of a little late time to get in a timeout, but hey, maybe not too late, because this one last round could change the factor. They don't want to be 8-4 down. They want to stay up by at least 7-5 so that they can shorten the gap to just 2 rounds and then pick it up on the pistol in the next half. But it is going to be difficult, that's for sure. As R&T prepare for their final attack, are they yet again going towards the B side? Because I don't think we've seen them go towards the A side apart from the one time, have they?
Yeah, the A side take was also really good. They had used the fault line and all that, but then it was shut down. I think it was twice that they went there. Once it was really good, and once Paradise completely shut them down. So yeah, it's also a gamble when you go to the A bomb side, particularly with how Revenant are playing right now, just completely rushing their way, and this is literally rushing their way in. I mean, obviously it's not as bad as you would call it like very mindless kind of rush. Obviously they're putting strategy into it. We talked about the utility that they expend while they're executing onto the bomb side, all the walls, the smokes, the concussions, flashes, but it's still very, very risky. Now let's see, 4 members outside of B main. There goes Paradox this time. Oh, that's the first shot missed, and Paradox back again into the B bomb side. He's up into towers already. Meanwhile, Flicker has to do the job of finding the Neon or someone from R&T.
Oh my god, this guy is such a menace. Paradox is just going to stay there all of his life in this round. Find a free kill, and he goes in towards his ultimate mode as well. the lasers come out, but Paradox will go down to Bloody. And while he's expecting another, there go 2 ultimates from each side. The Breaches are having a war of the earthquakes here, and it's KSG to come on top with one of the kills. Revenant will get one trade back in the form of Protagonist. Nighthead are doing the work for him. And now it is a Breach Chamber Brimstone versus a Breach Chamber Brimstone. Which of the 3 are going to come out on top? The ones from Paradise are pretty low on HP, and Blackhawk takes down 2 of them completely. A third almost came his way, but Nighthead was just a little quick on the trigger for him. And unfortunately, all of them peek out one by one instead of waiting for the plant to go down so that they could isolate those fights. Because if one guy's planting, one guy will be covering him up. That's when you peek out together, man. And unfortunately for them, it did not come into their favor. And now 8-4, Revenant in the lead pretty comfortably, looking for the pistol. And with a very defensive hold in their roster as well, they should be looking at a good stretch towards number 13.
Yeah, the thing is, the Neon can also fulfill those, like Sentinel kind of capabilities with her wall, but primarily with those concussions, it can be favorable for Revenant. Even having someone like Paradox, who is performing really well, has the most amount of kills in the server for the time being, even he can do those defensive duties. But more importantly, they've got a double Sentinel, Brimstone Mollies, you've got Breach, Flashes, and Aftershocks as well. Paradise, though, they're not ready to pump the brakes just yet. You have the backstab coming off Blackhawk. He has been spotted. Wins one gunfight, looking for another. No, it's going to be the Headhunter. The investment in the Headhunter in the pistol round really works wonders for Bloody. He managed to get a double kill, and now the entire team rotates over to the bomb side as Revenant follow in their footsteps, trying to win those duels. They've won 1 just yet, 3 more to go.
Enemy remaining.
They go down. That's Bloody with the 3rd. And Bloody looking for the 4th. But it's going to be Dean who will protect his teammate. And Revenant a little too aggressive for their own good, I believe. A push from both B and the A side towards the main sides to try and maybe bottleneck this team of Paradise was not how it was supposed to work. They got an early frag, utility being thrown, the grenade causing so much damage as well from Flicker. Not the best of options, Revenant, giving away a pistol round that could have been much easier for them if they had just stayed a little put. Giving up pressure, sure, sounds great, but too much pressure maybe throw you off your tracks. Bloody and Night Rider. Ooh, there it is. The chamber def initiation.
And it's been what? 2 rounds, and Bloody has hit 3 shots with the Headhunter, like 3 kills. Excellent numbers right here. As for Revenant, lost 1 man. All of them stacked towards the B bomb side, but towards the wrong side of the B bomb side. All of the members of Paradise lined up here. B main. Revenant going away through Arcade. This should be their cue to stay back. The Sage is still there. Legista gets a bit of audio cue. He signals to his teammates, come back to the B bomb side. That's exactly what they do. Paradox is going to go for a flank from B main. Now he goes back, but all members of Paradise are now in the bomb side.
Oh, KG, not a problem. Back and forth, and what? Okay, Paradox does not take an inch of damage and gets away with a Spectre in his hands. A little bit of a problem for Paradise here. They need to be able to stabilize. Flicker holding down towards Arcade. Their chamber's been heavily descended. But Dean and Protagonist find too. Loki and Blackhawk though damaged them further. And now it's on to Loki to just keep them from saving these weapons. That's about it. That's his job. And he's going to make sure that one of them does not do that. There comes the second as well. Revenant might have lost the round, but they've done the deed that needed to be done. Damage across the board and money in shambles for the side of Paradise, because now they're going to try to buy in, and half armors are probably going to be their issue that they're going to have to face up in this round.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's always these plays from Revenant, starting off in the first half as well. They lost the pistol, but then they forced bought in the second round, they won it, and then Paradise in their economy was bad. Right here, the economy of Paradise Esports isn't bad, but yeah, like you said, Universe, they have those half armors, and when you're against rifles on the side of Revenant as well, the half armor can just be your undoing if you're not careful. Once more, we are going to see early gunfights taking place. This time it is going to be Flicker who wins the duel against Knight Rider. So it has been now 3 rounds ever since the second half has started. Revenant Esports have not gotten the opening kill in their favor. This is definitely hurting them. One of their sentinels is gone. That's another player off the board, and Paradise can very easily execute onto the A-bomb set now. Only Paradox remains. Even he is eliminated. This is just complete elimination of your opposition right here.
Well, here they go towards the A side. Good approach so far. They've taken out Revenant pick by pick. A little too aggressive yet again causes them the defeat that they were not expecting. Look at that A main side. 2 players died in such unnecessary positions from Revenant. They could have just held their ground. But now they're forced to save, keep themselves at bay, not lose out on these 2 Vandals that they've got. Otherwise, nothing to fight in the next round with. Bloody, though, wants to find these kills. He does not want to let them live at all. And he might be... Oh, walks into the crosshair and also gets out just as quick of Blackhawk. Gets one. And Bloody looking to come back for that fight. Yep, but nobody's going to be facing him. That's going to be Revenant saving 2 weapons. And Paradise, they don't care about that. 8 and 7, they're already back in the game. Shunted down the difference of 4 down to 1. And it looks like it could be level in just one more round over here, CCV.
Yeah, look at the buy on the side of Revenant. Except for the guns that they have saved up, practically nothing. Paradox going for a Marshal, a Sheriff, half armors. It's looking dodgy from their side, but then again, you can't really blame them. This is Revenant getting desperate to trying to maintain that lead, as you just mentioned, Universe. Paradise, after winning this round, the entire lead is going to be leveled if R&T are not careful. And now, 4 rounds consecutively, Paradise now have the opening kill in their favor. For the past 2 rounds, it has now been Knight Rider who has been the opening casualty. This is definitely affecting the mental game of Revenant Esports and the morale of Knight Rider specifically. Getting shut down in the same place, A main, time after time after time. Paradise Esports are just honing in on that factor, and every single time it is successful for their side.
Again, what is that? Why is Loki all alone? Such a weird off angle where he cannot even run away from, even if he... And no support even.
Yeah.
I am a little confused about this approach. While they have bought around a little bit, semi-buy around that 2 Vandal save that they had, I'm still confused about how they're utilizing this. They still have Blackhawk for that Vandal. Stun 2. But nobody to approach that. Is just cautionary warning. Blackhawk! Blackhawk once down 2. What are they doing? KJ and Protagonist are looking the other way. And Blackhawk with the 3rd. He's gonna be looking for his 4th as well. The ultimate from the Brimstones exchange this time, as Dean gets away, holding them at bay with that Molotov. And I think he's done more than enough. They're gonna run through it, but they take a little bit of damage. Don't know where Dean is, and Dean's just gonna settle it down. Blackhawk, does he have it? No, he doesn't. He's gonna run away. Number 8.
Oh, and Blackhawk dies as well. Alright, I was a bit confused at Dean. Why did he take the second gunfight against Blackhawk? He could have just held his ground and like fallen back. But still, it's a round win nonetheless for Paradise Esports. It costed them significantly. Everyone in the server died. Everyone lost their guns. The full buy is gone. Blackhawk got a 4K. But yeah, things are still, well, level, quote unquote. Yeah, things are level. So it's not like all hope is lost for Revenant. But you can see, from the cams of the members of Paradise Esports, definitely a lot more happier faces than they were in the first half. The first half was extremely tense. This is them really, having a better. Bloody, I think that's the YouTube chat. Well, if you're hearing me, hello. But, jokes aside, now, the point being that for the side of Revenant, no matter what they have been trying, it's not really working. And the players are being shut down. And I think Universe, both of us can highlight the gunfight aspect of it as well, because the past like 3 rounds have been an excellent example of Paradise winning so many of those early gunfights. Knight Rider giving them away time after time. And then you, in the previous round, you had someone like Logista also holding those like individual angles. It wasn't it wasn't pretty from their side, and I'm trying to think of the reasoning behind it, but still, so far, it's just something they're doing on a whim. It's not been working. Revenant's coach HBK as well, talking some words of wisdom to his squad, telling them what they should be doing, and hopefully this tactical timeout was a good one for both of the rosters, because this is where things matter the most.
Yeah, they need to be careful, Revenant. They're letting them slip way closer than comfort. That 8 and 4 scoreline looked like it never even existed at this point. They've just gone past it like it was nothing. And now that they've covered up the distance, Paradise looking to make sure that Fracture is not a lost cause. It is their map pick, though. Paradise have chosen this one.
Yeah.
So I would expect them to put up a better fight here. And while they are looking stronger and they are giving the head-to-head fight to Revenant in a good way, they're able to keep them a little under the bar, under the weather. It has been bloody and Dean, as you can even see the scoreboard, who've been absolutely throwing things at everything at Revenant. 19 for Bloody, 17 for Dean, and the next one, Protagonist, is at 9. And unfortunately, Flicker and KG not having the best of games at 6 and 13, respectively.
Yeah, so for the side of both the teams, their scores, their performances, all of that varying, it's still not the final results for their side. Obviously, we still have a lot more rounds to go. Who knows? Maybe this one can go into overtime as well. I mean, the possibility is still there. Absolutely, it is. But yeah, definitely for the time being, Reverend have to put an end to the momentum that the members of Paradise have been getting for the past 4 rounds, win after win after win. No matter the guns, they won in the pistol, they won in the full buy. No matter the bomb side, they won on the B bomb side, they won on A. No matter what kind of defense they were facing up against Paradise, time and time again, they have prevailed through. It has been an excellent performance in the second half. They've really turned things on its head completely. And this is why I always vouch for the side swap to be the biggest shake-up that a map in Valorant can see, be it a ranked match, be it a competitive environment like this one, in the Community Cup. No matter what it is, no matter who the teams are, no matter who the players are, no matter what the region is, the side swap always shakes things up. And this is also again a top-notch example of that, with Paradise Esports having this newfound confidence, and they will definitely completely continue on this path. They will keep on performing. And really, for Paradise Esports, for being a new team who we really haven't seen on the big stage just yet, Universe, both of us, we were talking about their performances earlier in other tournaments in South Asia. Here, the Esports Club as well, I mentioned they had played the previous Challenger series, but they couldn't really be on the big stage at all. This is the first time they are in the top 8 here in the Community Cup. Their matches are now getting broadcasted. They are facing off against similar tier 2, tier 1 teams. So finally, they are getting their chance of showing the world what they can do. And I know this is just the first map we are seeing. Maybe it's a little too early to call, but definitely the roster of Paradise Esports has a lot of potential in them with how they have been playing against Revenant. Granted, yes, Revenant themselves have had a couple of roster changes. Players have gone out of the team, players have come into the team, but still, it's Revenant. The fact that Paradise are playing so well against them definitely means that they are well within their path of success later in South Asian esports.
Yeah, that is true. Revenant have had a pretty, recently great success accredited to them. In the last 2 months have been pretty great for them. While they've had a couple of
Yeah.
roster changes as well, we've seen Ember step down, seen Skargott step down. We see Blackhawk and Paradox in this squad. It has been, pretty interesting to see this new Revenant now look to come and take about what they would see as a better chance to settle in the debate for getting themselves a spot maybe in a better bigger competition every time which one comes, like the community cup right here. And there's a lot more to come as well. And Revenant, while at the moment a lot of people might be saying that, yeah, you know what, these guys were so good before, every team has its time, right? It takes its time. And Paradox, he's a new member, joined in, and he used to play that multiple role. First, he used to be the Jet. He has multiple roles that he took on in True Rippers. He played the Yeoman. He played sometimes even the KO. He had multiple times on Ascent where he donned that role. But here he looks like he's going to be taking that full and fledged duelist role, at least with the Neon, because when Knight Rider's on that chamber, it has to be Paradox who takes up that role. And I remember for a very brief period of time, even Blackhawk had the Jet in his hands. I think it was in the last team that he played. Um, I don't remember. It was with Sai. It was with
Oh,
Wimp. All these players
yeah,
together,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Blackhawk on the
One
Jet
second, yeah.
is
Mm-hmm.
chef's kiss, man.
Yep. Oh, the team. M42 Esports. I think the most recent edition of
Yeah.
M42. Before they all split up and yeah, before Sai went into True Rippers and all that. I
Mhm.
think. But regardless, yeah, the players, again goes to show the difference we are
You want to
seeing in the
play?
teams.
Let's play.
And Paradise being a new team, again, just on the radar, Revenant having experienced players, still both the teams very equal. Now, finally, after the technical timeout is done, Revenant are back into it. This time, they get the opening gunfight in their favor. We are back with round number 17, resuming things in Paradise Esports. Oh, they've taken a big step back. They've realized, well, we've just lost our KO. We still have the breach as the initiator, but where do we execute now? Because we don't really have an opening gunfight win. How do we proceed further? Is the question on their minds.
Well, they already have lost a player that could have disabled the ultimates or any ability for that matter, including Knight Rider's Rendezvous, which is going to be very useful here. Oh, wait, what? See, you saw that connect, right? Because I kind of did. I saw that hit his chest, but the
Maybe
bullet
wall
flew
bang.
away.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a wall bang. I don't know what happened. But regardless, let's continue the round at hand. The aftershock damaging team significantly, and it's going to be a beautiful wall bang from Vim. Paradox covers the line of sights of the other members of Paradise Esports, who are all huddled up towards A main. So it's not going to be easy defending against Revenant, who are pushing through. Excellent kill through the smoke. Paradise pushing forward. And no, Paradox will be shot down. Paradise still hold their ground. Revenant looking to defuse the spike, and they had ample amount of cover to do so. So very
Damn, that
interesting
was.
end to the round. And yeah, Revenant take the win.
Oh, well, that was quite a bit. Let's figure out
Yeah.
what exactly happened in that round, because honestly, the chaos was insane, completely all around the place over there. But a great retake from Revenant. The slow ops used perfectly. Paradox causing damage with his ultimate, keeping them at bay. And the clearance of sight was brilliant as well. Paradise this time kept at bay towards both sides, and they are having a slow approach towards the arcade side, it looks like. Let's find out if they're going to be successful. There is a sage wall there that's blocked their way. So for the moment, they're going to just have to wait behind it. The spike is traveling towards B. Both the sentinels are here. Knight Rider this time needs to connect his shots. And there's only one of which he needs to connect, and that's Bloody. It's right in front of his face. Couple of inches away, but he's holding on for his teammates to make their move against that sage wall. And there he's spotted. No, Knight Rider misses. And now Logi's closed up, and he's gonna find himself a free kill. No, Bloody got away with just a knife in his hands, but very low on HP, and that's Logi finishing off that kill. He has his ultimate available, so Logi staying alive is very important for his team at the moment. To get a revive coming in. Knight Rider, no, again!
Oh my.
Knight Rider! What's happening?
Paradox from behind though, he got one excellent kill that definitely Paradise weren't expecting. Now though, the retake gets very interesting since Flicker wins the duel against Regista. The two surviving members of Revenant have to push through the smoke from B main. The Molly prevents them from pushing any further. They don't have any information where the Paradise members are. They're still going to go for it. Protagonist, oh wait, what? Okay. Just one person, there's still two more alive. It is a 2 versus 2. They're sticking the defuse.
Oh!
Blackhawk kept on sticking it. Wimto gets the trade, and now he knows where Dean is. Concusses him. It's a half stick. There's yellow prime. Oh my god!
He gets it!
How? How in God's name did he stick it? Wimp. Oh, the concussion and the delay with shooting the bullets. This round is like confusion. Confusion.
Well, that was quite something. Perfectly assessed from Wimp. Throws in that concussion. The fault line keeps him at bay. And with the slowed pressure of the bullets, he turns around. He moves his head, just wiggles it a little, and finds himself the defuse. That's all he cares about. And Revenant find themselves number 10. This time again, that pressure towards the A main is immaculate, CCV. One smoke, and that's it. They don't even try to compete over there. And while they go to the other side, shots like these absolutely destroy them.
Yeah. Now towards A main, Paradise definitely are not even going for it for the past like 2-3 rounds. They have been eyeing on the B bomb side previously as well. They were looking for that arcade and B main push. Also right here, Revenant are ready for it. Blackhawk with the stim beacon swings wide, gets the frag, evades the fault line. Another headshot. He was looking for his third, but Dean denies him the opportunity, gets the trade. However, unfortunate thing for Dean is he's the only member alive, and there are 4 members of Revenant looking to hunt him down. Make that 3, but still it's going to be a tough spree. Oh,
really?
This time,
wow,
even if
okay,
he was
Dean.
concussed, he gets the headshot. Very low on HP. Logista can go for the resurrection as well, and yeah, this feels like a round Revenant should have in their bag, but you never know.
Yeah, I'd say they have. Okay.
Oh my god.
Forgive me. I didn't say a word, man. I didn't say a word. Dean, 6 HP. Looks like he's gonna clutch this one out. He's gotten through. Dean, he's playing this to perfection, but he gets the ace and not the 6th. Logi will trade him out, but he made it so very expensive for the side of Paradise. Oh, forgive me, Revenant. That could have been a troublesome round for Revenant if they had lost it. But my word, that was amazing. A very, very great effort put in over there by the man, Dean.
Absolutely.
6 HP.
You know, fair play. And he's got 24 kills. By far, even if Paradise lose this map, everyone, you have to commend the job this man has done. 24 kills. 15 deaths as a Brimstone. His ultimates as well get value. Excellent performance from Dean so far. Definitely one of the best and most anticipated up-and-coming talents in my eyes at the very least. Even though it's only been a map, who knows? It feels like, yeah, he's been doing an excellent job. Regardless of that, let's come back to the map at hand. Revenant are now ever so closer to winning out on Fracture. They just need another round and then they'll have the match point. 2 more victory is secured. Paradise are looking for that A main push, and Bloody is gonna go for that initial gunfight against Paradox. The rolling thunders there, the concussion prevents Bloody from pushing through, and now everything has been shut down for a second.
That was just a brilliant stunt from Paradox. He gets stunned, he stunts them back. And look at Knight Rider. This time, he will not miss. He connects the second as well, but only for a half HP shot. Knight Rider gets Dean in return though. Makes up for it. There's the third. Knight Rider wakes up to what he's known to be the best for. And with that, it is going to be match point, ladies and gentlemen. Revenant are looking to take Fracture all for themselves. They had a little bit of a slip up in the first 4 rounds of this half, but since then, they have not given away even a single round, and they don't intend to at the end as well. Paradise are in deep trouble. They have a buy that they can muster up right now, and this possibly could be their last. Half armor on two of them, and three of those players not really having the best of games, two especially. Flicker and KHG. If they need their team to get to even overtime, both of them need to step up big time here. Because Dean and Bloody have been putting in the effort, and Protagonist with the side roll as well. Flicker gets one, Dean with another. A little too aggressive for their own good. Logi goes in again. An unnecessary peak, it seemed like, but it looks like for another round they will survive. Blackhawk, though, very quick backstab from him. Flicker expects it.
Oh. The backstab, the kills, everything comes down to this. Flicker isn't really looking in Blackhawk's direction, but now Blackhawk has given his position away and it's going to be him all by himself. Looking to get a kill, won't be happening. Paradise Esports still not out of this. It is going to be extremely gross and extremely difficult moving forward from this point. You know, getting like 3 rounds consecutively against Revenant, hoping to secure an overtime where you have a chance of winning. It's not even confirmed. Revenant absolutely hold all the better cards in the deck right now. They have the advantage. But for Paradise, it's going to come down to on a round-by-round basis. You know, they have stopped the momentum that Revenant had. In the second half, Paradise won 4 rounds consecutively. Revenant won 4 rounds consecutively. Now both of that has been stopped, and Paradise, for the time being, are back to their winning ways. Maybe they keep on winning again. Maybe they win 4 more, and we do go to overtime. You don't really know. What we do know is this judge will give a verdict very, very soon. Just a completely flash. That was him. Just entirely flash. Flicker secures the kill with a showstopper, and the site is now up for grabs.
Well, it most certainly is, but there is a Brimstone ultimate waiting for them along with the ultimate from Wimp. That could be just perfect. It's blending up, but it does not touch anybody. They get away to the corners, but they don't even care about it because they've got their weapons to do the dealing for them. Paradox finds one, and he might just have shut it all down. Paradox to get the final kill, as he will get Revenant their first victory of the Community Cup's top 8 playoffs.
My god, this was a very long, gruesome, tiring match, and you can see on the face of Revenant, they know the job isn't over completely because this was still a part of the puzzle. We have the map of Split confirmed. You know, it's going to be the second map. Maybe we go to Haven as well, but for the time being, you know, from the expressions, yeah, it's still serious business. It's still not over yet. It was very, very hard fought by both of the rosters, and I have to say that it was a very, very well deserved win for R&T, and really tough luck for Paradise. I mean, they gave it their all. No matter if this is the first time you guys are hearing of Paradise Esports, you know, watching at home, seeing their name in the broadcast, you have to give them kudos. And one of the players I have to highlight is Dean. He's got his head in his hands right now. I mean, from the looks of it, he's a bit not, you know, dissatisfied with the performance. And who wouldn't be? That really was an excellent performance. Yes, a couple of rounds towards the end were really chaotic and weird and whatnot. All of us were completely dazed in confusion, but it still was an excellent performance, and everyone can agree with that. You know, when we look at the statistics, when we look at all of the numbers, I think we can give a better understanding of them. But for the time being, really well played by Paradise. I am extremely looking forward to seeing them in Split right now, and no matter what happens in this best of 3, if they win, if they lose, whoever their next opponents are, they better be careful. Paradise, they surely are something.
They most certainly are. It looks like Paradise have got what it takes, but it was just not enough until the last 4 or 5 rounds of the second half. It was just absolutely Revenant show. They got a little aggressive. They had a little control as well while they were being aggressive. So they had a good control of how exactly they wanted to let Paradox function. They gave away those 4 rounds, it looked like as if that gap never existed. But immediately, the way they picked up the pace, went straight on ahead, found themselves these fights that they knew that they could take pretty easily. Every single time there was a situation where Paradise were forcing them, their aggression on the defense was helped them out. I would say 50-50, because there were multiple times where they went out for these crazy peaks and they just lost three of their members at a time, Revenant. But at the same time, there were situations where they were able to, cope up with it.
Yeah, it was a lot of like team play, sometimes working out brilliantly, sometimes never working out. But the individual plays from all 10 of the players, definitely all of them stepped up to the mark and delivered whenever their team needed to. You had so many of those clutches by R&T members, by Paradise members. You had those 2 versus 3 retakes, the 2v4 retakes, and whatnot. And it all was just this big mess of anything could happen, really. There were many times where rounds were going in this back and forth statement. I said something along the lines of that, like, even if a team gets like 3 opening kills, it still doesn't mean that they've secured the round, because the opposition, be it Revenant, be it Paradise, they swung back twice as harder and they secured the win in the specific round. They won those duels, and duels are definitely something all 10 of the players should be looking to perfect later on, not giving away those free gunfights. And when those headshots strike, oh boy, did they ring a sound.
Yeah, they most certainly did. And I think that with that, Revenant, they're going to have a bit of a breather now in going into split. And they should be looking at a little bit more comfort when they reach their own map, because that is going to be quite an interesting one. And yeah, I'm excited to see split last couple of times that we will get to see it. What do you think, CCV? Is this going to be a 2-0, or are we going to see Heaven?
I'm not gonna lie. I said it in the pre-match presentation. I said the fact that, yeah, as soon as if the members of Paradise win Fracture, they have a good chance of going to Haven. But Revenant, they've been looking very strong on Split, and if they've managed to defeat Paradise on Fracture, something tells me Split is going to go the same way. Honestly, seeing the recent performances of Revenant, the fact that they defeated Chill Cord 13-5 on the map of Split like 3 days ago here in the qualifiers of the Community Cup, I have to back them, and in my opinion, for the time being, it's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah, well, I think I might have to agree with you. 2-0 is what even I think might end up happening. And I think that overall, we should just expect Revenant to, see only friends in the next matchup in, the semifinals of the upper brackets, because,
Yeah.
well, Paradise, while they do have what it takes, I think that they need a little bit more experience. And I think that they would like, to have a little bit more, I would say, you know, gameplay under their belt. While they will go to the lower brackets, it seems like it for the moment, at least, ladies and gentlemen, there is another map. There it possibly could be 2 more maps. This game is going nowhere, and I think that overall we should be expecting the Paradise Boys to give Revenant a run for their money, even on split. It should be an easy
Yeah.
one for them as well. I think that they
Yep.
should be able to give the same form of competition this time, hopefully not become stagnant towards the end, and not just stay at where they are. Maybe let
Yeah.
this go on to a double digit scoreline across both sides, or overtime, you never know.
True. But before we talk about Split, let's have a look at the highlights and let's see exactly how the map of Fracture went through, starting from round number 1, because it definitely had its twists and turns as well. You had the members of Paradise winning the pistol round, but then they completely flunged out of it in the anti-eco in round number 2, and that's where Revenant struck with their own force by they won. They put the credit economy of Paradise in shambles. They had to go for sheriffs and a couple of vandals and no armor, half armor, whatnot. The utility also wasn't the best, and then they had to make a comeback from that of sorts. And the economies of both the teams early on in both the halves were really in this vulnerable state. And I feel like that's the theme we'll be seeing in Split as well, because talking about the credit economy is always a favorite of mine. And when teams go for these wacky ideas and go against the norm of, losing the pistol, ecoing, going for the full buy in the third round, when they move away from that, that is when things get really interesting, and that's when you can land yourself in some chaotic scenarios where you may have guns, your opponents don't, your opponents may have guns, you don't, who knows, anything can happen. But for the time being, I would say that yeah, both Revenant and Paradise did an excellent job of balancing their credit economies and their alts as well. The alt usage definitely was on point from almost all of the players, really.
Yeah, I think that they did a really good job of farming up those ultimate orbs whenever they could. The kills were coming past as well, and with the aggression that Revenant was showing, sometimes they just got those ultimate orbs for free. To be honest, because Paradise just backed off immediately, and Paradise were just getting their ultimates with kills and deaths, and that was basically it. And spike plants whenever they were on the attacking side, but with that, their ultimates didn't really help them as much. Unfortunately, they had a couple of hiccups in between, but they still kept that first half as close as possible until the round number 8. And then eventually came Revenant hitting hard, and they went through towards 8 and 4, and finally found themselves 13 and 8.
Yeah, it still was a very, very difficult journey nonetheless for the side of Revenant, dealing with the members of Paradise back to back to back to back. And in the second half, as soon as that started, that just meant that yeah, Paradise did have this newfound confidence, and that is what gives me a glimmer of hope that maybe on split, if Paradise Esports can be as confident as they were for those 4 rounds, speaking everything, getting those individual kills and whatnot, who knows, maybe they can try and get an edge over the likes of Revenant. But overall, the experience that the roster of Revenant, all of their players have, something tells me that it's really going to be favoring them in that second map. But I still can't say completely. But keeping that in mind, yeah, it is going to be interesting on split. I'm looking forward to the agent compositions as well. Obviously, many agents that we saw here, we won't really be seeing them. I don't expect the Brimstone to be picked again. And yeah, apart from the Brimstone, we may see Paradox playing the Neon on the split. You do see Neon a couple of times, but really I believe the Raze or even the Jet to have a more prominent role there. And in terms of controllers, Omen is always a team's favorite. At times, if teams really want to go for, they even go for a Viper pick, but that's really when you're playing double controller. You don't always see it often. So the agent compositions on split are also going to be very interesting to have a look at and to notice.
Yeah, a couple of times like this, these couple of rounds where Paradise showed what they can do best, but from here onwards, it was a Revenant show. This was a brilliant retake from them, covering out the side, getting kills, holding them at bay with utility. Well done from Revenant, and yeah, I'm looking forward to split now.
Truly. Um, yeah, that is one of the statements that I don't think either one of us will be making very soon. I'm looking forward to split now since it's out of the pool. It's does does bring some sadness, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Pearl as well. The first time we are seeing a change in the map pool also. That's one of the things. Previously Breeze and Fracture, they were added to the map pool, so it was like they're there. Now we are seeing a map being taken away. So this will 100% shake things up in the meta of South Asia, how it's been playing. Teams who don't like split now have this new map where they can either ignore it just like they ignored split, or maybe perform better and learn it, get the edge over everyone else. Both of us, universe, in the pre-match presentation, we were having this discussion as to which team
Yep.
will really be going into their custom games on Pearl with their coaches, with their analysts, or just by themselves. Look for those rat plays, look for strategies. It is definitely going to be very interesting. But yeah, speaking of the map video right now, Pearl isn't there. It's still in early access. And right here, I gotta say that so far, Fracture, excellent job from the members of Revenant Esports. There were a couple of instances where they stumbled and they fumbled, but they always picked themselves back up, dusted themselves off, and they went at it full force, thus getting the 13-9 score in the end.
Yep, the 13-9 is what's going to get them across the line. And with that, we're going to have split come in, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of minutes. We should be heading straight into the
Yeah.
smallest map on Valorant. What do you expect should be the lineup? Do you think we see a Raze and Neon, or do we see just a Raze? Do we see just a Neon? Because I would love to see a Neon over here again from Paradox.
Oh, I don't expect the neon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see her again. Maybe Paradox goes for that play. Not really sure. But before that, obviously we have to like talk about how the tournament has been overall. I really have been enjoying the Community Cup. Hopefully, all of you at home watching have been as well. If you have been enjoying it, and thanks to our sponsors, we have such a wide array of products to offer you as well. If you go down in the description, you will find links to the monitors from LG Ultragear, really 27-inch, 144 hertz, high definition. Definitely the best monitors in the market. Make sure your aim is as crispy as it gets. You have also the processors from Intel, top of the line, the most gigahertz any processors offer. They've got the fastest speeds, single core, multi-core management. Everything is there. I personally own the 12th generation processors as well from Intel. Definitely can't argue, the best in the business. You've got RAMs and SSDs from Crucial. Literally, quite literally, the fastest peripherals out there. Make sure you load your files, you load into the games as soon as possible. You boot up your operating system as soon as possible as well. And then of course we've got our broadcast partner Loco, who have got the widest variety of streamers right here and the widest variety of games to offer. But now we are here with the next map, Split. Split it is going to be, and with the agent selection screen already, the compositions are logged and loaded. So Universe, take us through a couple of the agents you're seeing on board.
Well, I do love to see the Paradox Neon combo. I think that
Yeah.
he is very well suited to that agent, at least so far it looks like. The Astra's up as well for Logi. While Blackhawk is playing that initiator role on the KO, I am interested in looking at the Viper that's come out from the other side. It's been a while since we saw a Viper on this map. A double controller setup, not something that we've seen in quite a while. Paradise looking to bring it back, it seems.
Yeah, double controller. Who was the other team? I think it was another team from Pakistan, really, that went for this double controller. It was the
Choose
team
your
with
agent.
the soulmate in shooter. Again, I'm bad with team names, but they really used to go for like Viper, Omen, and this used to be their double controller on Split. And it was always very interesting, since you expect double controller to be there on the map of something like Bind. You see double controller a lot, but on Split this time Paradise are going to bring it out. As for Revenant Esports, they're going to be here with it as well. So that's the thing, that right now they are different compositions. You've got different agent archetypes in play, but overall it is still going to lead into how they play as players, how the players go for those agent picks and how they perform, because so much of that map number 1 fell into the genre of winning those individual gunfights. And so many of those times, those gunfights really did not go a certain team's way, be it Revenant, be it Paradise. So that's going to be interesting, seeing the players juggle around that as well. But definitely, I'm looking forward to Split. Maybe for a couple of the final times, but hey, it's still here. Let's enjoy it while we can.
Most certainly, ladies and gentlemen, Split coming our way in just a couple more seconds. We will be heading into the game anytime now. Got the players locked and loaded in, and well, I can't wait to see this Viper Omen combo in action from the side of
True.
Paradise, because that looks really interesting. Let's see if it works out for them though. On the defense, Paradise getting attacked on A, and instantly Paradox has been deleted.
What was that, like 5 seconds? Oh, already that's one player gone. Bloody goes down and still gets a headshot onto Blackhawk. Flicker secures another, making sure that Paradise, not only do they have the man advantage, they have side control, because the crossfires are being set, because the spike has been dropped into no man's land, and because of the fact that Knight Rider is only on 11 HP. Don't think there's a lot of rescuing he can do for his team. Revenant, just like the previous couple of rounds, just like all of the pistol rounds so far on the map of Fracture, doesn't seem like this pistol is going to be favoring them as well, unless Knight Rider, with the 5 bullets and 55 seconds that he has, can work out some like magical plan.
That's not ready.
Well, here we go. Paradise have the upper hand here. And now we're going straight into the mid region. Knight Rider, 11 HP. He has
30
been
seconds
detected
left.
to go towards the B side. They're keeping this quiet, Paradise. They're expecting him to be in any nook and corner. And here we go. Knight Rider. One bullet to the head of each of those players is all he needs, and he's got 5
10
of them to do
seconds left.
so. A fake plant. Not really the best of choices for him here. Now they're going to run through. Goes down the plant. There comes the blind. He escapes away somehow. Comes around them. And he's trying to give them a little bit of a sneaky dodgeroo here. Spams the bullets. No, he will not. He keeps it alive. Only for one to hit the body of KHG. And Paradise win the pistol on defense.
Whew. It was a long, drawn-out pistol round. But the side of Paradise Esports still win it nonetheless. Still keep their streak going with having 100% pistol round win so far in this best of 3. Revenant, if there's one thing they should be looking to work upon after this BO3 is over, no matter what the result is, it's the fact that they've got to improve their pistols. So many of the times they're just trying to rush their way, brute force their way into the bomb site. Doesn't really work. We get it, Paradox is the Neon, he's supposed to be very quick and agile, but still, man, you can't take that many risks. Even right now, Revenant are going to go for a full-on force by after losing the pistol, just like what they did on Fracture.
Ooh.
This time, though, Paradox is the opening casualty. That's another member of Revenant going off the board. The team in red are trying to flood the B bomb side. The problem is everyone is flying by the base side. The breach also falls alongside him. The spike goes, and Logista was all by himself, and he was all that he remained until his untimely death. Revenant again. I don't get this, man. Why are they just trying to brute force their way in? It did not work always on Fracture, and even right now, it's not working. Paradise have this clear counter answer, but Revenant still go for it time and time again, even though they know it's really a failure.
Well, I'd say that they're just trying to get to know what exactly Paradise do. They did force into the previous round, so they were trying to look for that brute force, which I kind of, expected, because once you buy in, you want Paradox to just get into the enemy line, find himself a little bit of a corner to exploit. Is what they're doing again. He's already gone in towards Vince. Grenades coming in to stop him from his tracks. While he has slowed things down, Revenant have a dog in their faces. Bit wimp. Not more though. As they're gonna keep themselves a little close to the danger here, but not too close. Paradise keeping their distance. KG should be able to find that first kill, but they're peeking off on each other. Close it was there he goes. Paradox finds one though. And there's another. He tries to get the kill, but he will secure. Knight Rider will secure that instead. And the second as well on the Viper. As somehow Revenant find themselves in a 5v2. And Paradox has done the damage that he needed to do. Hence, this 4v2 looks pretty much difficult for the side of Paradise to get back into. 42 HP, Flicker. Only hope for so much, and United has found his third. And Bloody needs to save this Vandal, and he's now even been spotted, and know that he knows that the opponents know he has a Vandal. They're gonna go pick it up. A free Vandal, of course, they're gonna want it. A Thrifty comes in. Another brute force round over here, CCV, but this time it works with just pistols.
It was a lot more calculated from the side of Revenant. They took their time, and that was the main factor. They did not rush their way in the first 15 seconds of the action phase. They waited on B main towards B garage, and on Heaven, and only then did they push forward. Really good stuff from Paradise as well. Couple of mistakes, being so close when your opponents don't have the best of guns, or really close quarter guns, such as those pistols. The shorty was also there. Regardless of that, round is over. Paradise still have the lead. Revenant now are going to go for their full buy. As we can see, they've got rifles on board, full armor on their players. And for the side of Paradise Esports, they are holding their ground. They're not pushing forward. Neither are Paradise going for mid control. The Astra smoke prevents them from seeing anything, and Blackhawk through that nebula pushes on forward, drops down into vents, and this is where Revenant, they have a lot of map control to work with. All R&T are looking for is that initial kill. Where will they find it?
Well, it looks like they're sending Paradox in towards the opponent's spawn. That could work out for him because he's running straight towards Bloody, and Bloody has no idea about this. His teammate didn't even call it out to him. I'm not quite sure what just happened. The communication didn't come through. But Revenant have pretty much the entire side. They're waiting for Flicker to be cleared off, and he will be. Knight Rider finds 2 on the back end. Make that a third. Cleans up the round.
God.
Knight Rider and Paradox find themselves everything. And the second round on the back of it as well. Immediate hit back from Revenant to keep it 2-2.
Yeah, Revenant were like, okay, no more messing around, I guess. They just turned the switch on. And this is them complete serious mode. The kills are going in their favor. Fair play, Knight Rider. It wasn't like the most optimal vibe from Paradise, but they definitely had those rifles there. They had like half armor, full armor, Phantoms, Vandals. Now, Paradise are in a much bigger buy.
Knight Rider?
The Knight Rider was completely out in the open. Yeah, what was he looking for? Was he waiting for like the Raze Boombot to destroy? Maybe, but like, yeah, you don't peek that angle, man. That vulnerable. Still, just up by himself, looking to isolate a gunfight. Gets one, gets the second. Really good stuff. And now pressure is building on Paradise as everyone in Revenant moves away from A to B.
Oh, brilliant stuff from Bloody there. Really quick shot finds him a brilliant kill. But Revenant, they still have 3 members alive. And they're going to try and keep it that way. Dean, just a pistol, but that's good enough. A turned around Logi finds himself dead. And now Vimp looking to get that kill onto Dean, but Dean's going to play this safe and sound. Does not want to give away too much and plays it perfectly. Paradox will get him back though. And we've seen this man in 1v3 clutch situations 100 times or more. And he's in another one again. Plant goes down. He gets way too close, a little too quick. And that's how Flicker will burn him.
Again, it's a win for Paradise, but it's a thrifty win. They don't win the round, sorry, they lose the round in like a flawless manner to Revenant when they had Phantoms and Vandals on board, but as soon as you bring about the Tour de Force from Chamber and the Sheriffs and all, they start winning those gunfights and eventually they secure a 2 versus 0 round win by defusing the spike. Interesting stuff, man. This is really like the teams are going in back and forth in a very, very unpredictable manner. With them losing full buys, winning thrifties, you never know what's going to happen in the next round. Here, round number 6, very influential round. You've got ultimates in both of the teams present, multiple ults present. You've got the operator being brought out, all 10 of the players going for a full buy. You've got rifles, full armor. So whoever dies and whoever lives will make a great play in the next round as Paradox pushes into vents. The line of sight from B Heaven is closed off. You don't see anything, and that's why Flicker moves forward looking for a kill. He finds 2 before he goes down. The showstopper definitely puts an end to Revenant's early plans of domination in this round.
Bloody has got the A side covered off for himself, and that is all he needs to do at the moment as Revenant slowly consider their movements. They've got a cosmic divide to work with, but where do they use it? How do they use it? They've got no information apart from the fact that there is a Sky and a Viper on this B side. They don't know that the Omen is here. And KG is positioned perfectly. Only problem is that his side members are actually not looking up there. And KG, who did not peek out, could have been the reason for his own team's demise. He will retrieve back 1 though, but not a second. And the Viper's pit is still available for him, which he can create chaos with because Knight Rider has an operator. And that in that Viper's pit is going to be absolutely rendered useless because of no vision. Blackhawk. Oh, good angle. Finds 1, does not find the second. Knight Rider does not connect his shot either. What is happening to Knight Rider? One of the best operator players from this region is going on a very, very sketchy form today. He's hitting a couple
Yeah.
of crazy shots, and then he misses a couple of crazy shots.
Oh man, alright, timeout taken from the side of Revenant. Definitely makes sense why they've gone for that. I can't sugarcoat it. That round was theirs, but they just gave it away. You know, after snatching it out, what Flicker did with that showstopper and the double kill that he got, that was excellent. That put Paradise in such a comfortable position to try and secure the round win, but they couldn't. Revenant swung back, and they swung the round in their favor, planted the spike, even though it costed Logista his life. You know, as the Astra trying to plant it, KHG got that kill. Still a 2 versus 2, well within their rights to win it. But KHG, yeah, definitely went for it. And I saw, you know, University say that KHG has the Viper split. It could be very chaotic. Well, wouldn't you say if KHG goes for that Viper split, it would have been very chaotic? Get it? Because nah, it's a good one, right?
Yeah.
It's a solid. Okay.
Oh
you're
yeah,
not-
yeah. It's amazing. Damn, I've never heard
Yes,
something
thank you.
that good, man. My ears feel like they've become gold. They touched gold.
Yes. I can go into comics on with this. That's good to know. But again, all terrible jokes from my end aside, yeah, Revenant should have really won that. And what we did see just yet, looking at the player cams as well and looking at the coach cams from both of the side, from HBK, the coach of Revenant, and then from Camille, the coach of Paradise, both of the coaches are very vocal about what their team is doing. So definitely they have had a lot to say after the initial 6 rounds, and let's see if the coach's words are going to have any effect on the performances of the players starting round number 7.
Paradox, control of Wentz. Yet again, it's been taken as KG takes control of the B main side, shutting it off with a big green pit of poison. And Revenant trying to fake out this move towards A, take down the trap, but make no more movement. That does push back the chamber just a bit, but the rest of Paradise, they're not moving an inch. They're very, very comfortable with the fact that they know their players can hold this off. And good reason too. They've got a good set of ultimates. They still have the Sky Seekers as well. And just as I say its name, they go out and Paradox takes out the releaser of the Seekers. Dean, flash gone to nothing. And here go Revenant towards the A side as Paradox tries to fake it towards B. And Paradise expect this. Bloody will take down Knight Rider. But does he have more in him? It's the question. Yes, he does. Gets one more. No more cover is going to be a problem for them. And with that, Flicker will get one more. Dean to add on, but Logi now left all alone. 1v2. Essentially a 1v1 at the moment. But Flicker's got him ahead of time. No! He misses it. And now it's on to Logi to find this kill. Go for the plant. Nah, not gonna happen. A brilliant round yet again from Paradise. That one smoke towards spawn could have maybe changed the game over there, but I don't know what exactly happened. Did Logi run out of stars? Because there was no star placed there at all.
Exactly, the screens are such an important position because yeah, you had 2 members of Paradise holding the crossfire, and when you have so many members of Revenant dropping down from a heaven towards like the bomb site where the Raze is playing, you definitely need that smoke on screens to prevent such a crossfire from being held, because that really was the undoing of Revenant. Now, next round, Spectre, Bulldog on side of Logista and Paradox respectively. 3 ultimates for Revenant. They better use them to the best of their capabilities. You know, the Cosmic Divide may be in a late round push, but Paradox can really use that ult, and he needs to find an opening. Something that Revenant, they've done a decent job at it earlier, but right now as well, they've got to be a lot more efficient with how they perform. So still, a lot of cards on the table, and Revenant are taking things slowly, but again, they're looking for that mid play. They want to execute on B. The crossfire though, this time gets completely obliterated by Bimp and Knight Rider, who move in from B garage. Dean on the bomb side has been eliminated. Bloody can't land his shots at all. The entire magazine alongside his soul has been emptied in this round, and it's all down to Flicker.
Oh, the blind is perfect, and Knight Rider gets that kill. Didn't even need it. But Paradise, after such a brilliant round before, they fall like this. But it doesn't matter. They still have the lead. They're 5-3 up. And I am a believer at the moment. I believe that even though this is a defensive map, they can pull off wonders towards the attack. They have a Raze and a Viper, so control is going to be insane for them. Given that their Viper is working out brilliantly for them so far, at least, I'm very interested in that wall that's come down towards mid, which actually has given them control, but nobody's actually contesting it. Paradise being heavily tortured on the A side. Bloody is being forced off. Paradox, who got into the B side all by his lonesome, has been taken out, but that was just a fake. As everybody from Paradise now rotating towards the B A side. And Wimp survives without taking an inch of damage. Here we go. 5 versus 4. The retake comes on.
Just a very, very weak buy from Paradise in general. They've got classics in hand. Knight Riders still taking gunfights against 4 defenders. Has the support of Logista, who will be good for 2. Blackhawk from behind. Paradise have picked up the guns that Revenant have dropped. It is a 2 versus 2, but this is the wildcard player that nobody in Paradise is expecting for the position. Wim needs to get a visual cue, needs to tell his teammate that okay, they're pushing into the bomb side, needs support. Wim doesn't need support though. He isolates one gunfight, looking to concuss the other, and Blackhawk swings by as the KO. It is going to be Revenant Esports winning round number 9, and slowly but surely they have been clawing their way back at the deficit that was built by the side of Paradise. And now it is the side of Paradise Esports themselves who will be going in for a much needed tactical timeout.
Yep, they most certainly need this. They've given away 3 rounds in a row. And this is going to be a problem for them. Dean has disconnected though, and he will be back immediately. He has been an important player for them across the 1.5 map that we've played so far. The previous one though, carrying his team heavily until that 8th round. Here, everybody from Paradise has been performing. And Knight Rider and Co are currently hitting back. And even though Knight Rider had a couple of misses, at least 50% of his shots have not connected all the way. Even if you say 30% of it not connected all the way, he's still leading the charts for his team and the entire server. 12-6 the man is on currently. 10 for Logi. And Paradox currently sitting at 6. The MVP of the previous match for his team. But it's still Revenant overall taking control of the entire game. At least for the last 3 rounds. The way that Paradox is exploiting that neon is just, mind-boggling, man. They've done such great work with the way that they've gotten around how to use that neon, get it into spaces, cause so much positional advantage and damage to the opponents. It's been very great watching Paradox play the neon, to be honest.
Certainly so. Yeah, it has been really good. Paradox has been doing an excellent job. And yeah, this is like a bit of, foundational finding for our Revenant as well, is that back in his time in True Rippers, Paradox, as Universe you mentioned, he wore many hats. At times he used to be the primary jet main, he took up Omen, he did different jobs, he played different agent archetypes and whatnot. Now that he's back in Revenant, so far, with Knight Rider really being on the chamber, are Revenant looking to keep Paradox on that role of, that hardcore entry fragger, no matter the map. Maybe he'll play a neon, who knows, he can come back to the jet as well. Is that what Revenant are looking for, or are they also looking to shake things up with their player archetypes and their agent archetypes, much like how True Rippers did early on?
Yeah, well, this has to be, an interesting matchup. I'd say that Paradise do have a good control of the game here. They are doing pretty well. But I think that the one thing that's not working out in their favor is that mid control. It is just not coming in their hands as easily as they would hope, because every time Paradox just puts a wall, go straight in with the flash from the breach, straight in towards Vince. And they're not contesting it, which is all right. It's not a problem at all, right? Giving away the Vince control because you know that it's being contested every time. But how many times are you going to let that happen? Because at some point, somebody needs to get into that vent position with an operator, could be Bloody himself, and just take out Paradox straight up, stop them in their tracks instantly. Because the minute Paradox stops, R&T are going to have a halt for at least 20 seconds where they're like, okay, calm down. Let's see what happens now. Because they have lost a man who
Yeah.
can give them movement space as well as agility, and they're going to have to play it a little bit more meticulously. So that mid control, I think, should work out for them, which they did in the previous one with the Viper Wall. Let's see if they do it this time, though, because I do believe that they have the utility to do it. The Viper Wall is brilliant. The operator with Bloody's hands is also going to be amazing. Let's see. Get back into the game and find out what's going to happen in this last couple of rounds of the first half.
All right, round number 10 it is. The previous time we saw round number 10, the members of Revenant, they managed to secure an 8-4 half. This time, the best they may be able to do is going to be 7-5, but they still have to go for it. And again, Paradox, just like what you mentioned, Universe, this man, the way he finds entries for his roster, immaculate. And once again, that is exactly what has happened on towards the A-bomb side. But Paradox are going to swing wide. They are going to have their rebuttal just here. Cosmic Divide goes through. Protagonist can't see anything for the life of him, and everyone on the defense has now huddled up right next to the bomb site. Question is, when do they cross the Cosmic Divide?
Well, Black Hawk gets only one though. No more, it seems. Now it's on to Paradox. He's keeping his team alive. 2 versus 2. Make that 2 versus 1. Paradox has done enough. And now he just needs to stay alive. And he will not let the last one live either. 4K for Paradox as he gets number 5. And Revenant are leveling up the scoreline.
Revenant absolutely are. Let's have a look at the end moments in this instant replay. Another kill for Paradox, moved away, and with the chamber being all low, so many positions checked. 4K overall for the Neon, and once more the economy of Paradise seems to be struggling. So Revenant, even though the half has had its roller coaster moments, ups and downs, there is still a chance R&T can manage to snag a lead, a 7-5 lead. Who knows? This round definitely favors them because of the fact that they have the rifles. But the tornado was present on Bloody. Knight Rider was like, hey man, I may miss a couple of the shots with the Torre Force. You're going to do the same. This time I'll be the one capitalizing off of that. And Dean towards the B-bomb side has been concussed. He needs the support of his teammates because by himself he cannot survive for longer. He does not survive for longer. B side is under control of Revenant Esports and the spike has now been planted.
Walks into the trap straight in. Blackhawk finds a completely unaware flicker walking into the smoke, and now in this 4v2, Viper and Sky not looking very promising at the moment. They've been detected as well. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is Revenant to take the lead into the first half when they were 5-2 down. 6-5 back up, they will go. And I am a little concerned about this, CCV, because we all know Split is defensively, ecstatic, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about the entire map that we've seen so far is that we have a roster on the side of Paradise where they've got 2 controllers, they've got a Sky, and they've got a Raze, all of whom utility is absolutely brilliant on defense as well as offense, right? The Viper and Omen especially, it's like you have unlimited smokes, right? But it's not working out for them. They're not able to keep them at bay. They're not able to make it work. They're not even shifting up position. This time the Viper Spirit, while it does go towards mid, Paradise, they've got no contention there. Nobody even wants to go there because they're going towards A Revenant. Protagonist is the only one here, and Paradox is just running around, jumping, and only with the one is he gonna find anything. Dean will get one back though, but it's still a 2v3, and that Viper split towards mid is gonna go to naught.
One enemy remaining.
Knight Rider finds Dean trying to wriggle in towards the A side and elbow. He says, not on my watch you don't.
Spike planted.
And now KHG, He's got a tail to worry about. Oh, there he is. There it goes. 7 and 5. And Revenant secure the half and bring it back to a comeback win as well. 5 and 2 down. They won 5 in a row.
Exactly, they salvaged this half in an excellent manner.
play some Astro
And
Stars in
for the
this reality.
side of Paradise now, there's definitely trouble. But then again, we saw what happened on Fracture. Paradise, they were down 4 rounds. You know, it was a 4-8 score favoring Revenant. But then they managed to win 4 rounds consecutively. They equalized the score. They leveled it off entirely against Revenant. This time, it's not even 4 rounds. It is just 2. So Paradise have that chance of making a comeback. But they need to continue on their streak of winning the pistol rounds. For anyone watching who's unaware, for the previous map and the first round of split, Paradise Esports have won every single pistol round so far. Revenant have lost every one of them. Paradise need to repeat that again, no matter the cost, if they want to have a chance of contesting against Revenant in this BO3. Otherwise, it can be a swift 2-0 win.
Yeah, this is good positioning from Blackhawk and Paradox, though. The minute he peeks off, it's going to be Blackhawk swinging about. They're not going to expect this for sure. Oh, grenade goes in. Blackhawk has been spotted, but it will keep Paradise at bay for a while. Fourth line as well. And eventually, they change up their approach, going back towards A. The Viper still hasn't put down her wall. So KG is going to be getting it ready, up and running towards the A side, and Paradox has already made his way there. They expect this. There's a trap onto Heaven to keep them close, not push up too much. And with the last 30 seconds almost coming up here, this is it. Here we go.
Alright, this is it now. The defense has to hold off on the side of Revenant. Paradox gets a double headshot. With that goes Blackhawk swings from the same angle. Meanwhile, you have Vimp in the bomb side, who earlier got 1 kill. This time secures the deal entirely. And Revenant Esports only lost a single player. This may just be the beginning of the end. Revenant Esports have ended their losing streak on the pistol rounds. They now have a 3-round lead. They're going into their own anti-eco. I don't think Paradise are looking for a force buy. Yeah, no, they're not going to force buy. One like half armor. That said, they're not going to go for Spectres and Stingers. Paradise are taking things very slowly, and Revenant will now have a 4-round lead. Hopefully.
Well, 8 and 5, soon to be 9 and 5 it seems like, given the state of pistols on the other side. The grenade pushes Paradox off. He does have a bit of chipping damage on him, but not too much. A lot of utility being burnt towards mid across both sides here. And Bloody, he's been stuck in that gravity wall. Gets away with just a bullet to his shoulder. As Paradox finds the first towards Flicker. And now, with slowing things down and absolutely no utility to work with for the side of the attack. Where and how do they plan on getting in now? There's no way. Smokes is still to come back. Viper's orb has been committed towards mid. That's also been taken out now because of Blackhawk's knife. The grenade keeps them at bay for a little longer. He's got 2 flashbangs as well. Oh, this is difficult. Difficult indeed.
Spike down.
Yeah.
One enemy
Oh my
remaining.
Mobile
god.
down, stay down. Absolutely shut down.
Yeah, that was just oh my god. I don't even have like a way to describe this, like any analogy to describe this. It's just you know, completely going in your garden and just shredding all the grass there. I don't know. I thought it was a good enough analogy. But yeah, that was it for Paradise. Didn't have the best of guns. It was an anti-eco round after all. This is the round that Paradise should be looking to get into the groove back again, because of the fact that the gun disparity now favors them actually. They've got rifles, they've got full armor. Revenant are completely saving on from the previous round. We still can see the Spectres on their front. So if Paradise lose this and give double digits to R&T, then it's really a lot of trouble. That point forward, Revenant more or less maybe looking to march their way forward with victory. You have to be careful, extremely careful And yeah, you gotta take things, cautiously with how you proceed forward as Paradise, because the Revenant, their plan was to just rush their way into vents and all. Paradox, as the Neon, did an excellent job. For Paradise, there is no Neon. You don't have the concussions, you don't have someone who can move faster than your regular agent speed. You just have that Raze as your entry fragger. And so far, Flicker has not been in that role of getting the entry kill just yet. But with 45 seconds on the clock, Paradise are looking to go for a B take.
Well, here we go towards the B side. They've got a shotgun to keep things at bay over here. Night Rider gets one. Flicker to inflict damage instantly.
30 seconds left.
But Loki's gonna be the one to maybe turn this one around. He goes out, goes for one, he gets the planter. That's all he needed. KHG, a little too late on the trade there. I don't know what exactly happened, but he will be able to find it. Oh, again, they go for it again. They find the kill. 2 versus 1 though. Blackhawk in the driver's seat, and he has been put to a stop. 6 and 9. Nice it is for the scoreline, but not so nice for Paradise just yet. They have a lot more ground to recover.
You made fun of my chaotic joke and you make this joke? Wow. Alright. Hypocrisy. I see how it is.
Hey, I didn't make fun of it. I said it was the greatest thing I've ever heard. My ears felt like they touched.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was so convincing hearing you say that was the greatest thing ever.
It is.
Alright. Alright, let's get back into it. Paradise Esports still with a deficit of 3 rounds. Though the thing is, momentum may just be favoring them. Wait a minute!
What?
How
He
did
teleported
Zodi
away.
land that shot? Yeah, exactly. We saw him be in A vents or like A heavens, and then the headshot registered. How was that possible? But still, a trade occurs nonetheless. Wim secures the kill of Flicker. So Chamber's gone, Raze is gone. Paradise looking to push into A vents, but now Blackhawk denies them the opportunity. Throws the fragment down. Yeah.
Look at the control though towards the B heaven side that they are getting, but towards B main, Revenant have found themselves a very easy frag, and they've even got the positioning of both the players who are coming in towards B side. Wimp is gonna get his fault line in a couple of seconds now. 30, a little late, but he's gonna be able to survive. That's all he needs for his team at the moment. They're not even gonna let them plant instantly. Utility being dumped on them. But they've got good positioning. Paradox, you go down. Over.
Last player standing.
Blackhawk, and now again a 1v1. And a 1v1 that is proving to be a troublesome one. Oh, not gonna stick that plant. Dean faking it out could be trouble for him, because once that smoke goes away, he's gonna find his opponent in the. No! Don't give it! Wait, what?
He didn't see Logista. When Logista crossed over, the smoke was still there, and Dean, he missed him.
I thought I didn't see it. I think it kind of lagged out for me that I did not see the shot.
Oh, you can see in the replay.
Oh yeah, now I see. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
For me, it lagged out, and I thought that Logi just absolutely, had a flick of a glitchy shot, and I was like, wait, what? Just that's not supposed to happen. All right.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, but really not much you can do for that. For the side of for the side of the players now, in the side of Paradise Esports, they'll be thinking over, okay, we lost that round as well. Revenant now have double digits, and the timeout. Well, from the looks of it, from what we can see, the 3 players we can see, all of them are quiet. So it must be like their coach Camille, who is going to be speaking a lot. Maybe it's Flicker or KHG who are doing most of the talking. But yeah, whatever is being said needs to be heard in the entire server. And they have got to make sure that they follow it strictly. And as to the side of Revenant, they have had their ups and downs, but the second half has really been favoring them. This round, however, looking at the economy, this is a very, very dodgy round from both the sides. Revenant are going to go all in pretty much. They will have rifles, half armor, but they don't have any credit saved. As to Paradise, they'll be going for a full-on save, hoping it works out for them.
Logi has got 2 stars to support himself towards the B main.
Obscuring
Ah,
vision.
sound of that ult being picked up is enough for him to smoke that off. But they're just going for that orb, nothing else. They're just gonna slowly walk back towards mid, where they've got Paradox towards B Heaven. He's got a shotgun that, with a neon, could prove to be very, very dangerous. Protagonist has a flash to work with. That's kind of all he needs. He will take on Blackhawk, and now then he goes. No way! Bloody! He hits that shot, and now he's got a tail to worry about. This is going to be a problem. All 3 of them walking into the crosshairs of Knight Rider. Oh man, such perfect execution. The ultimate from Wimp. The backstab from Knight Rider. And now
30
the
seconds left.
wraparound from Wimp as well as Knight Rider. They're going to pinch him down, make him a chicken and ham sandwich.
Spike planted.
And with that, he's going to be eaten alive. Number 11 up. And with this CCV, I think we might just have to call it quits. Because with number 11 coming up, economy down in the drains for their side as well. I don't see Paradise coming back from this. Do you?
Maybe, but it's a big maybe right here. Revenant have almost all the advantage in the world right now because of the fact that you know, Paradise Esports, no matter what they've been trying, yeah, out of the 5 rounds in the second half, 4 of them have gone the way of R&D, and this is the final frontier Paradise have. We can see from the economy, they're going to give it their all. The problem is, no matter where Paradise look to get the kills, Revenant always strike back twice as harder. In the previous round, excellent use of that Rolling Thunder. This time, Knight Rider just gets the opening kill, eliminates one of the top fraggers for Paradise. That's your chamber now gone. A powerful fragger is no more in this round. Knight Rider gets another this time on towards A main. Protagonist also completely caught off guard when he was least expecting someone to sneak by, get a kill. Flicker is looking to sneak by towards the main. No, Paradox denies him that opportunity as well. And everyone in Paradise is just getting shut down someplace or the other.
Well, Dean, both the controllers are alive. And Revenant are just, absolutely circling them like sharks, man. They've covered off every single exit. All 4 places that they can go. B Heaven is watched by Wimp. B Main's got covered by Logi. The backstab coming as well in the form of Blackhawk, who's just gonna absolutely mow them down. Gets one. Flash comes in. Knight Rider's the one blinded, but it's gonna be Blackhawk to shut them down. With that, ladies and gentlemen, number 12 for the side of Revenant, and we are 1 round away from securing our 3rd semi-finalist of the upper bracket.
Oh, Revenant, there's definitely a lot to learn from this matchup for their side, particularly on the map of Fracture, with how they have been playing on Split. I mean, they may not choose to focus on this map so much, and I mean, to be honest, not many teams will, with the change that will be happening in the competitive map pool very, very soon. But still, Revenant have got to realize that it wasn't an easy matchup. And fair play to Paradise as well, sorry. They have given an excellent performance. They're not out of this just yet, but 6 rounds consecutively is a very, very big ask. Knight Rider, he is concussed, he's dazed, he's flashed, he goes away, and a similar story for Blackhawk also. So Revenant and their players, they are struggling, getting their grips on, but they have delayed Paradise enough. And Paradox can he win this opening gunfight? Completely flash faces the wrath of 5 attackers, flooding the doorways. And now the 5 attackers, they are moving side to side towards mid. Revenant don't have a clue in the world where the defusers are gonna go, but look at this gun down! Wimp and Logister completely annihilate any and all hopes of Paradise Esports and their fans.
Yeah, Bloody is stuck in that corner, and that will be the last corner that they will be in the upper bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd semi-finalist of the Community Cup upper bracket, Revenant Esports. They will be moving ahead to face Only Friends tomorrow.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. really well played and hard fought for the side of Paradise. You can see Dean's expression as well. Not really happy completely with that performance, and for a fact that everyone in the side of Paradise Esports gave it their all, but it just wasn't meant to be. Going down in the lower brackets, maybe they'll have a better time, but you can't really say for certain how it's going to go. The map vetoes, opponents, all of that, we're not going to focus on it just yet, because that's for the future. The next time we see Paradise Esports, with how we saw Paradise Esports just now, they gave an excellent performance, but they were just shy away from getting the edge over Revenant.
Yeah, it was, a performance that I think shown more in the first half than in the second, because I think that the way that they worked around their first half, they had that 5-2 lead, and since that 5-2 lead, they've had one round in the entire game. That has that has to be a statement of itself, because from there they've managed to put up one round, and that was it, which means that the side of Revenant won 10 rounds at least, regarding disregarding one in between, which they didn't. Just madness. Revenant Esports took control of the game since round number two, and forgive me, since round number seven, and they have not stopped since. Absolutely brilliant from them. But yeah, overall, kudos to Paradise to giving in the effort that they did, and I think that they will be able to do a little bit better in the lower bracket, where they will, I think, be facing ROG Academy, or I think they no, yeah, they will be facing True Rippers, I believe, is what I think. We
Not
will see
sure
that in the
either.
brackets later on, but this has been quite a match. They were able to give the side of Revenant a fight in the first map. Second one, not quite so much.
Yeah, unfortunately, but still, everyone played amazing. And if you, the viewer, as well, you want to play at the best of your capabilities, we just had the QR code right there. Make sure a bit down, but yeah, we just had the QR code. Get some Red Bull delivered to your doorstep. After this map, after the BO3 that just got over right now, we have another one at 8 p.m. Before that, we have a significant amount of breaks. So if you want to get your Valorant ranked grind on, you want to queue with your friends, you want to make sure that you're well focused in the game, you are hitting those crispy shots, definitely get some Red Bull, perfect energizer for everybody. But right now, Revenant, they have all the energy and they have all the satisfaction they need. They have secured the win in the upper bracket quarterfinals. They know it's going to be a difficult journey now more than ever, with all sorts of plays that have been happening, and the roster changes that have been happening.
Yeah.
But having a look at the highlights, the thing is they still have a stability. Let's bring on the highlights and let's see how the map of split went. So no matter the players going out of the roster of Revenant, no matter the players joining in, it still is a very, very experienced roster that they have, and I would still consider them to be one of the favorites in winning this community cup for the time being. They may have better competition, and there definitely is a lot more competition. I mean, take it from our second BO3 of the night, Prime 5 against Lethal Esports, 10 extremely talented players against each other. So it's not like Revenant are going to have a very easy journey, but with good improvement, they are still one of the favorites here in the community cup.
Yeah, that is true. Well, let's find out if they're going to be able to, secure a win against Lethal Esports later in the evening. But for the moment, it is Revenant to enjoy the shares of the spoils that they have won here. Honestly, this man right here, Paradox, has been an absolute joy to watch in the entirety of this, situation. There's no way that I did not see Paradox playing that neon and not enjoying himself. Like, he's just running around, causing damage with his position, causing damage with his, utility as a lone, like just alone. Runs around like he's got no other business, causes positional advantage for his team, gets into a corner where the opponents never even expect him to be, and on the opposite side, where they had the duelist who is, supposed to be doing those things as the Rays, who can jump in, fly in with those satchels, we never really quite saw Flicker doing any of that, did he?
Yeah, he had those flashy moments, and the one we just saw was a great example of that. But on attack, it was a very, very different story. It felt like on defense, Flicker had a lot more control and had a lot more situational awareness with trying to shut down the likes of Revenant. But on attack, he was still trying to find his rhythm with how he wanted to entry frag, and more often than not, he wasn't really the entry fragger. It was someone else. Maybe at times it was also Bloody on the chamber who was getting those kills. Dean also had a considerably better performance. So yeah, Flicker, it's not like he had a bad day by no means whatsoever, but it could have been better on attack with him playing the Raze. On Fracture, Fracture was a lot better, but yeah, in this case, it went a lot of back and forth, so to say.
Yeah, I did go back and forth. That is true. But yeah, overall, this has been a pretty interesting, exchange of battles between these two teams. And I think that Paradise will take this as an experience to go further and find out what they can do better against high caliber teams like Revenant. They are still learning and they are always going to get better. You will find that out in the
Mm-hmm.
days to come. For the moment, this has been pretty much everything, ladies and gentlemen. We will be going to the scoreboard, the brackets in just about a little bit, and to have a look at what was the overarching storyline for this game. And
Yes.
Revenant, they will be taking all the stats in, and I think Paradox is going to be the one to, throw in all of the numbers towards his side. But this game, though, even though surprisingly, after all the misses that he had, Nitrate is the one who's absolutely torn through the ranks. He's got 25.
Yeah, for every one miss he had like three kills to his name. So yeah, a couple of misses here and there, hey, happens to everyone. I still remember the protagonist miss that happened on the map of Fracture. That still boggles my mind. He emptied the entire magazine. But happens to everyone, be it the pros of the scene, be it the best in the world, or be it just casual players like me. It is what it is. It's the overall performance that matters. And if in a general statement you are still having a better day, you are still getting those kills, your KD is positive regardless of the agent archetype you play, regardless of if you are a very passive player or a very in your face aggressive kind of player, that's what matters. Because at the end of the day, statistics also mean a lot. As casual players, we may not think about it too much, but when you're playing in such an atmosphere in a professional team against other tier 2 tier 1 talent, statistics definitely tell that side of the story that you may not get by just word reviewing the strategies. Statistics can give you an analysis, especially the first bloods. Personally, for me, as someone who has casted and seen tons and tons of 5 versus 5 tactical FPS shooters, first bloods are very, very important, and the team that gets them is really setting themselves up for a lot of success in a specific round. But right now, speaking of numbers, speaking of statistics, we have the entire scorecard in front of us from the side of Revenant. Knight Rider, as you mentioned, Universe, 354 average combat score, 25 kills for him. For Paradise, Bloody also as the chamber did a darn good job, 15 kills, 231 ACS. So yeah, both the chambers definitely stepped up to the plateau in this matchup.
Yeah, they most certainly did. While the rest of the team was not able to support Bloody in his endeavors, six is all they could find. And yeah, it's a brilliant showcase by Knight Rider, Paradox, everybody from the side of Revenant did a brilliant job. Wimp was having a little bit of a slow series today, but he did pick up the pace as we came into split. As a breach, he did so much damage with his utility. The holding of the opponents at bay, the supporting of his team with the ultimate as well as the fault line, the flashes for Paradox to jump in with just amazing stuff. And yeah, with that, we've got Revenant heading further up into the brackets, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm pretty sure that the MVP for the series is going to be Paradox.
I think so.
So
Yeah, he definitely, as the
it should
Neon,
be him.
had he had such an impact. But yeah, overall utility usage from all 10 of the players was really on it. Dean definitely had a better day on the map of Fracture than he did right now, 9 kills. But as the Smoke, Skies, Vipers, yeah, even though Paradise went for that double controller setup, many a times they had a lot of utility, they just couldn't work around it, be it on attack or be it on defense. They tried to maneuver their way, they tried to restrict the members of Revenant. But every single time a smoke was placed down, there was paranoia from Omen, there was a Viper toxic screen. The members of Revenant were like, we're just going to push this, especially someone like Para, who, had no worries in the world whatsoever with how he's going to play. And he just kept on moving forward and forward quite literally. So yeah, overall, definitely amazing performance. The MVPs as well, if you can have a look at them and how they have been playing. This is the match MVP, Knight Rider right now. Definitely deserving of that. As we mentioned, 4 first bloods. That is as a chamber he had in 19 rounds, 4 rounds. He was the one who got the first kill in his favor. Really, really good. Average damage ratio of 200 as well. So it's above 200. Really nice. And yeah, overall, Knight Rider, stellar day. Couple of hiccups in the way, but really that's none of his concern at the moment.
Yeah, that's pretty much a kill around a kill and a half around over there for Knight Rider, as
Yeah.
match MVP is awarded to him deservedly as well. 25-11. That KDA is insane. Uh, Almost a 2.5. It is practically a 2.45, 2.49 ish. Um, well
Oh,
done,
my
Knight
bad,
Rider.
Mats.
Well, hey, I'm not on the brightest side of maths, okay? So I'll
I
take it.
dropped Mats.
Yeah. That's kind of why even I dropped maths, and here I am. The only way that I look at math is on the scoreboard when I play Valorant, but even then I can't do the instant KDA stuff. But yeah, overall, here's a storyline, ladies and gentlemen: 13-9, 13-9 on Fracture, and 13-6 on Split. That is how the cookie crumbles, and no haven will be seen. Paradise Esports will live to fight another day, but that might be their last one. So they need to keep fighting in that lower bracket. As we will have a look at the brackets in just a bit.
Yeah, but overall, we had a look at the series. We had a look at the series score. Now let's have a look at the series MVP. Paradox, 280 average combat score over the course of 2 maps, 39 kills, almost dropping 40. So like that's like an average of like 20 kills per map. 11 first bloods after 2 maps. That is also really good. As a Neon, you are always at the forefront of the attack, plain and simple. If you are a Neon, you are fulfilling that role. If you're going for any other duelist, maybe not, you're at the forefront of the attack. Usually you are, but with the Neon, it's almost like a 95% chance you're doing that. And Paradox was fulfilling that role. He got a lot of first bloods as well. There were times he was the opening casualty. I mean, you look at that, 39 kills and 35 deaths. So it's not an exceptional KDA that he's maintaining, but people fail to realize the fact that if you are the entry fragger, if you are the spearhead of the attack, it's a very risky position to play, and more often than not, you are going to die. If you are the entry fragger on attack specifically, know this within your heart that there is a chance, most likely, I'm not going to survive this round. Every single round. Be it a pistol, be it a full buy, be it an eco, anything. Doesn't matter. And that's why Paradox as well, the amount of kills he's gotten almost equally the amount of times that he has died, but still he has had a considerable impact on his team, and that is why, for a reason, he is the series' most valuable player.
Indeed. And yeah, with that, ladies and gentlemen, the brackets are up. Revenant Esports to move on ahead with the 2-0 to face off only friends in the days to come, while Paradise will be facing off the Churippa boys, who were stumped by only friends in an upset yesterday. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much the first round of the upper brackets. Only one match left. Prime 5 to go up against Lethal Esports later on today in just about an hour and a half. And that is going to be an
Yes.
amazing match. I think that is going to be a very interesting match to see which of these teams Two very competent teams. One of them is going to be dropping down to the lower bracket very early in this stage.
True, yeah. Prime 5, Lethal 5. The loser going up against ROG Academy as well. Boy, it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. So, all of you at home watching right now as well, make sure you are subscribed to the Esports Club. If you are watching on Loco, make sure you are following this channel right here, because at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we will be going live with that matchup. And if there is any match in the upper bracket quarterfinals that is more highly anticipated, it is that one. It's the one everyone is looking forward to seeing. Prime 5 up against Lethal. The maps, the players, the performances, everything is going to be there. But overall, summing up the best of 3 that we just witnessed, Revenant Esports, great performance. Paradise as well, definitely up there as an excellent up-and-coming team. Something that the title was given to Revenant as well. When they were just starting to make a name for themselves, we all call them the best up-and-coming team South Asia has seen in a while, and they took that spot, and they definitely secured their position like the top 5, are definitely in the top 5 teams of the region. Now, player changes have been happening all over the South Asian Valorant scene. Tournaments have been happening, they've been going on and on and on. So we still don't know which team is like the best right now. We still don't know exactly what's happening, but that's where the Community Cup goes in. It's not just for the prize pool that the top 2 will be getting, it's all about the glory as well. And the prize pool of 1,50,000 that will be divided among the top 2 teams is shared between the top 2 teams, and is provided thanks to our lovely sponsors as well. If you go down in the description, you can get yourselves top-notch monitors from LG Ultragear, the best processors from Intel, the best peripherals from the side of Crucial, and of course you can scan the QR code right here to get yourself some Red Bull delivered to your doorstep to make sure you are performing at the best of your capabilities. And of course, we've got Loco. This stream is ending very, very soon, but if you are watching us on Loco, you can watch tons of other streamers playing tons of other esports titles and have a ton of enjoyment and entertainment watching that. But for the time being, I'm C-Suite, joined alongside Universe. This concludes our first best of 3 today. We'll be back at 8 p.m. with our next matchup, so stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Till then, bye-bye.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, I know. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby I got you. 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 The world is going wild and they You're all I need. You're all. You're all. You're all I need. You're all. You're all. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all. You're all. You're all I need. You're all. You're If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby, I got you. 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 I got, baby, I got you. 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 Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll Your eyes